Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Sunday, March 12th, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ORION NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got NASCAR Cup Series, United Rentals, Work United, 500 live reactions with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. So we got pretty good results on the World Baseball Classic yesterday, which is great. I'm going to end up doing the Team USA versus Mexico later tonight. So we're going to be here probably for the next 4 to 5 hours. I'll have about an hour break, and then we'll get into the baseball game later tonight, and then we'll grind it out for another probably 2 or 3 hours once that wraps up. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day, and it's always a great day. If you're a racing fan, where we know we have Cup Series racing on Sunday. Xfinity race was pretty good yesterday as well. And like I said, I feel like on weekends, we really need to be able to have something to look forward to. Normally during football season, you got college football on Saturday, you got NFL on Sunday, NFL on Monday, NFL on Thursday. And I wish NASCAR was kind of like that too, but I totally understand with travel and what they're doing. Obviously playing football and doing races is completely different, but I'm really blessed that we actually have something as fun as this to be able to look forward to. It may not be the NFL. To some people, this is NFL, but I really truly love watching NASCAR races on Sundays. It's fantastic. It's a great way to kind of cap off the weekend. And then we're going to get some World Baseball Classic later tonight too, so I can get some Team USA. What a fucking game yesterday with Venezuela beating the Dominican Republic. But it shows you can have big names, but if they don't come to play, you're fucked. It's like you can have all these Hall of Fame or future Hall of Famers, but it's not going to matter unless they get the job done. So excited to see what Team USA does against Team Mexico. Sarah's in the building. How are you? Tom is in the building. How are you? Let's get to 100 in donos. Mike's in the building. How are you? Let's go. So happy. And like I said, most people, if they don't know me, they might not realize how much I really do love things like NASCAR and baseball. Yes, I love football. I love college. I love NFL. I love wrestling, right? Those are always going to be at the top. But honestly, the way that things have been going in my life in the last couple of years, I really honestly feel NASCAR and Major League Baseball, since I get to go to Mariner games and, cheer on Julio, try to get the memorabilia, it's getting closer to the NFL and wrestling, or maybe the pecking order on how much I love it it's crazy, man. And I'm really excited about today's race here. Now, I think they could have did a different title, for the actual race. So we have NASCAR Cup Series, United Rentals, Work United, 500 live reactions, right? United is in there too many times. Why is United in there twice? United Rentals, Work United. Why? I don't know. It's a little redundant there. Too much United in the title, but hey, I guess it is what it is. The sponsors, they have to be able to get theirs. And if they're going to pay the big money, they can have United up there, and we're going to say it. So I totally get it. And I got some new photos for y'all to go through the race. We'll start it off. Obviously, we'll do it based off points and what we're looking at with wins and top fives and kind of the overall ranking. And the number one driver right now, Kyle Busch. Let's get it, baby. I know, Mike, you love that. And the number 8, with this paint scheme, it's not the brown. It's not the kind of mud color or yellow. It's bright. It looks good. This is not going to be the last time we're going to see Kyle Busch in victory lane this year. That's facts. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., huh? Maybe the most unlikely guy to, win the Daytona 500. But the rule is in the Daytona 500, if you sometimes stay in the middle or towards the back, that's not a bad thing, and all the wrecks happen. And sometimes when all the dust settles, there's a few drivers that are left, some popular and some that, may be kind of, just like hoping that they get a win in the season. And then Ricky Stenhouse Jr., there you go. William Byron. Obviously, we know with what happened last week, another dub for him. We're on, obviously, week 4. Mike Joy, Danica Patrick, Clint Boyer, and your boy, William Byron. Nice, and I knew that, it's like he started off really strong last year with a couple wins and then just went, off the deep end. Not a whole lot of top 5 and top 10s after his first couple wins early in the season. Hopefully, he can keep some momentum as we go forward. Probably my favorite driver that's not my favorite driver, to be honest. I like heels. I've always liked the villains, not only in, 80s and 90s movies, but cartoons and anything I'm watching. And my favorite driver of all time is Dale Earnhardt. So if Dale Earnhardt is my favorite, then there's no reason for me not to like a guy like this. Yeah, he's a little reckless. I like his confidence. I think he's got mad skills. Small race team, obviously, with him and Daniel Suarez. And don't be surprised if you see Ross Chastain with a championship within the next 5 to 10 years. I think it's very possible. He's next man up. You got guys like Joey Logano, you got Kyle Busch, you got Kyle Larson, you got Chase Elliott. Who's the next guy? I think you're looking at him right here, Ross Chastain. Alex Bowman, I got you. Kevin Harvick, we know how great you are here at this track. Would not surprise me if you end up having a top 5 finish, or maybe, you're going to be in victory lane. We'll see how good you do today. Daniel Suarez, I see you. It took you 6-7 years to get your first win last season. I know it felt sweet, and I know you're going to try to be able to have more consistency this year. And we have seen Daniel Suarez kind of pick it up. He's already got, the one top 5, right? And check it out. Daniel Suarez, believe it or not, out of all the drivers in like the top 10, right? Out of all the drivers in the top 10, there's only one other guy that has 3 top 10 finishes so far this year in the 3 races. One, Daniel Suarez, which he would normally never do, right? And Alex Bowman. So, it shows you sometimes it's not necessarily the biggest name, but it's about consistency getting there. Yes, you have to get your wins, but that's the type of stats I like looking at. Top 5s, top 10s. I want to see that information. And this shows me that Daniel Suarez is trying to get closer to Ross. He knows he's not as good, but fucking A, dude, if you're going to be racing in the top 10, let's be honest. We're a little surprised if he can keep this up throughout the whole year. And I think it's great for that small race team. Trackhouse Racing, I see you. Ooh, Martin Truex Jr. I got a new one of him. Wanted to make sure we showcase a little love. Kind of unfortunate what happened to him, towards the end of the season. But you already know he's good for a race win or 2 throughout the season. Decided to come out of, possibly retiring, contemplating about retirement. Great to see Martin Truex Jr. back at it, at least for one more year. Oh, a new Denny Hamlin. Hey, FedEx. We already know Denny is one of those guys. He's not going to be, getting along with every single driver on the track, but he obviously has a steady name like Kevin Harvick, and you just never know from race to race what you might be able to get with some of these OGs, Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin. Christopher Bell, I got you. Joey Logano winning the championship last year. We already know what that is. Chris Buescher, Big Bad Brad Keselowski. Kyle Larson, we already know what that is. We always have to have him step up over Chase now. And hopefully we'll get Chase back sooner than later, but Larson will have to hold it down. Got a new one of Ryan Blaney. That one looks sweet. Bubba Wallace. And that kind of rounds out your top 16. And then if I have to plug in a few more photos, I woke up a little bit late with everything, so didn't get a chance to take Paisley for a walk yet, but it is kind of rainy and overcast a little bit. But if I got to be able to pull up a Cindric, LaJoy, Allmendinger, Gibbs, Amarola, McDowell, Haley, obviously not Chase Elliott, Burton, Dillon, Gilliland, Jones, Ware, Gregson, Priest, Briscoe, Tyler Reddick, McLeod, Dillon, and then we don't really have to worry about Pastrana or maybe Yaley or Jimmy Johnson at this particular race. But like I said, yeah, I'll pull up a few more as we go, but I figured I'd pull up at least, with the limited time, with the 16, and then we'll go from there. And hope everyone is having a fantastic day. I'm ready. I'm excited, man. Like I said, this is a good time of year. Football's over, right? Wrestling is in full swing. It's WrestleMania season. So if you like wrestling, we know, AEW, WWE has been trying to ramp it up. Yes, we know NXT and Rampage blow, but at least we have Raw, SmackDown, and Dynamite. So at least we have that going for us and the pay-per-views. So that's good, right? College football and NFL being over. There's still NFL news, people getting cut, people getting traded, people trading up for the first pick. So that's starting to heat up a little bit. But right now, it's really a focus on, we got NASCAR in full swing. Baseball is just around the corner. So once we get that, then I will feel like a normal human being, even though I am a fanatic and I love watching everything. I mean, goddamn, if I'm getting into like trucks and I'm getting into Xfinity and I'm watching fucking Cactus League, I'm desperate for action. So you already know that I want to be able to watch as much as possible, but I'm definitely excited about this race today. And Even though it was a pretty long day yesterday, we're going to make it even longer today. We're going to have about an hour break after the race is over, and then we're going to be doing Team USA versus Team Mexico. I'm fired up about that. I mean, like I said, these games are fun to watch. Some of these teams are like miniature all-star teams. Venezuela, Team USA, the Dominican Republic. And then you have teams that have a couple people like Shohei Ohtani on Japan that are, hey, if they're on, maybe I'll tune in a little bit. So definitely looking forward to see what Team USA can do. Started off slow, gave up the big home run from Waino and Wainwright, but then fired back and then ended up winning 6-2. So I was worried at first, but Great Britain's jerseys alone might have been the most terrible jerseys I've seen of all time. It's like they lost their jerseys in transit, and then they had to have a seamstress make one. He's like, what do you want me to make? Great Britain. Let's write it out. Okay. And then you see it on the screen, and you're like, holy shit, these are terrible. I mean, especially compared to like Dominican Republic, Team USA. Team USA's are fire. Those ones look nice. Like I would even consider getting a Team USA jersey. I mean, obviously, if Julio was on there, that would be a given, but I'll have to get the Julio Dominican at probably some time. But great to see you guys in the room. Love you guys and appreciate you guys. Tell your daughter happy birthday, my boy. Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. We fell short yesterday in a 5-hour stream, but I think we'll be able to make up for it. We got 2 streams today, so I'm just hoping that we can get some good support and get some people to come in and have fun today. Rowdy Nation in the building. Let's go, baby. Finley's in the building. How are you? Finley's always here. Consistency is key, It means a lot. Appreciate you. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yeah, Ramsey to the Dolphins. I mean, everyone's trying to unload. Sometimes you have really good, talented players, but it's the money that's involved. So, the NFL is a business. Yeah, and Fangio was always the best when he was the defensive coordinator, for the Bears before he went to Denver at head coach. I already knew that would be a failure. Oh, here we go, baby. Here's my guy. Woo, let's go, baby. No Chase Elliott. I got to see what we can get here out of Hendrick. And obviously, it's going to be fun to watch Joey. It's always fun to watch Kyle Busch for Mike. I'm always going to be looking at some of those intermediate guys since Chase isn't around. So lots of Kyle Busch, lots of Ross Chastain. I'll be keeping an eye on Daniel Suarez for Trackhouse. Joey Logano because he's one of the top dogs, Larson. So this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. And it's cool to see Hendrick hold it down while Chase is gone. Probably Chase isn't feeling too great about that. But if we can get a win here, or if William Byron wins again, obviously things are looking pretty bright for Hendrick Motorsports, as they always do. That's facts. He said, Kyle winning. Hey, I wouldn't mind that, man. I don't have any problem with Kyle Busch, and I never have. I kind of like those guys that have a little bit of edginess to them, as if you've noticed. The people that I like, usually are really good on the microphone when they're wrestlers. They can wrestle, but they can talk smack and eliminate people and give them the fatality. And sometimes you got to have a little bit of that smoke. So there's no, surprise that I like Dale Earnhardt. I like Dale Jr. I like Tony Stewart. Even though Dale Jr. wasn't really as mouthy as maybe like a Dale or with the personality, But I like those guys that are a little bit fiery, You can't just be all ho-hum about it. Sometimes you got to let that emotion comes out. This shit fucking matters. And, I know some people don't like seeing that anger come out on the screen or that passion or fights, but, this is a part of who you are. This is not about just your job. This is in their blood, and for some people it means a lot more, and some of them are a lot more talented than others. Speaking of Kyle Busch, uber talented. Ross, uber talented. Joey, uber talented. Larson, uber talented, and we can't forget about Chase. It's just so sad to me that I don't even have Chase photos prepped because he's not in the race, but I'll still throw a few up, for my mental health sake. So, is he? Ooh, nice. Well, you need that. If you want to have chances to be able to come back and, continue the success, you're going to need that workhouse, that bell cow, that workhouse. You need it. That's great to hear. Bama won? Yes. Let's go. Oh, you're excited then. Me too. I am actually rooting for Tyler Reddick. What a terrible start to the season. You know what I'm saying? Like for a guy that's so talented, stole a couple wins away, from Chase Elliott last year, where Chase was racing. And then all of a sudden, the last pit stop was a little questionable. And then here comes Tyler Reddick. I'm like, motherfucker. But I root for guys like that. And it was cool to be able to see Tyler step up. And for him to be sitting right now, 33rd in points, is terrible. So I'm really hoping that we can get a finish, not a DNF. He's already had too many of those wrecks and everything. That's one guy out of the whole NASCAR roster. As I look at everyone, I try to have a little bit more sympathy for Chase, but when you're skiing and snowboarding, that's on you, bro, right? But as far as talent, that's on the bottom 15, 16, right? That's not an injury. Chase is 24, right? It's Tyler Reddick. So, like I said, he doesn't have to be my favorite driver. I don't have to have any affiliation with him, but I am really rooting for him to get it back on track for this season. Just really unfortunate start for him. And if you're a Reddick fan, you're like, hell, it can only get better from here. This is the worst start you could possibly ask for a guy that's got top 10, top 15 talent. Facts. Yeah, but Josh Berry isn't Chase. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, the rumors are coming out. And if you're going to try to accumulate picks, because you know what I mean, maybe you trade it up, to be able to get the leverage. And then maybe you're thinking that the Colts will be so desperate that they'll trade up for Bryce and CJ, and you don't even care about those guys. So, maybe there's other guys that you have in mind. So maybe it's just about trading away those picks, getting the picks back, and then, adding a few in the process, depending on what you're getting in return based off leverage, because whatever you lost, you could always trade that away if the Colts were going to trade up, for example. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you gave away DJ Moore, but DJ Moore was already going to be leaving within this year or next year anyways. That was kind of like what most Panther fans and NFL fans kind of had a feeling, that he was going to be either let go, traded, or he'll go to assign to a new team. So the DJ Moore loss isn't as big of a deal as everyone's trying to make it out. Yes, he's a talented receiver, but the Panthers will be able to find another one. You know what I mean? It might be slightly not as good as DJ Moore in the beginning, or it might be, just depending on what they get with the picks. But if they do trade away the first pick, I don't think that's a moron move. I don't think it's stupid for other teams to maybe do it. After trading up for the one, that would mean that they're fully invested, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're just trying to accumulate picks and get the best picks they can this year. You know what I mean? And sometimes you have to do some trading. But normally when someone trades the house and a player of a DJ Moore caliber, normally a top 25 receiver, if you get him the damn ball, right? Normally you're picking the player. But maybe they don't want that player really, and they're just going to see if someone is desperate enough to trade what they traded away, or maybe more. And then they'll go from there. And if they get that call from the Colts, then boom, they're good. If they don't get the call from the Colts, then boom, they get their franchise QB, right? Unless we get something crazy and they don't pick Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. You better hope as the Panthers, they don't pick Will Levis number 1 or Richardson number 1, because then everyone's going to be laughing at you guys for all to trade all those picks where you could have picked that guy. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys. Let's go. I'm excited. Let's get it, baby. I am ready. NASCAR. Turn left, baby. Great to see you here in the room. And we'll go through some of the photos here since you just came in. Short track racing. But we got Kyle Busch, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. As you can see, I've gotten some new ones for you guys. I'm never going to repeat the same ones all the time. We got William Byron. Great win last week. Ross Chastain, I'm looking for his first win. Like I said, I know he's not everyone's favorite. I like him, and I don't give a shit what anyone else says in the media, other NASCAR fans. Once I have my mind made up about somebody, that's it. And no one will ever change my mind. Now, if he ends up racing and wrecking, Larson and Chase and Kyle and Joey and everybody, then at some point maybe I'll have to reevaluate. But I just think he's smarter this year. He's going to have a lot of top 5 and a lot of top 10s, and he's next man up. Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch. Who's that next elite guy? You're looking at him. Alex Bowman, Kevin Harvick. We'll see. He has success here, so we'll see what he does. Daniel Suarez, Trackhouse Racing, baby. I love it. Small team, big results. Martin Truex Jr., new one. Love that. Denny Hamlin, woo, love that one. Christopher Bell, Joey Logano, Chris Buescher, Big Bad Brad Keselowski. Hey, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, and Bubba Wallace. And there'll be a few other photos. I just tried to drop the first top 16 in the points, and then I'll move and get a few more up there as we go. So 48 is your guy. You know, big old Double J, little Jimmy Johnson. And then after this is over, we'll get into some Team USA, Team Mexico tonight for the World Baseball Classic. And I'm excited for that too. It's going to be a long day. And I woke up kind of late. Like I actually woke up only about an hour and a half ago. I don't know why. Maybe just because I haven't been sleeping that much. I mean, I have been sleeping, but I only get usually about 4 or 5 hours, and I'm right back at it reading and, you know, doing whatever Paisley maintenance and chores and shopping and all that stuff, you know, to get things done around the house. But yeah, I woke up, went back to sleep, and then I was like, oh, wow, it's like 10, 11 o'clock. I need to get fucking prepped. And, you know, it usually takes me about an hour. So thank God I had enough time to make the thumb and get everything situated. And here we go. William Byron, Larson, Hamlin, Keselowski, and Chastain. All right, let me make some adjustments here. One, two, three, four, five. All right, so what do we got? Ross in fifth. And then we got William Byron in first. And then we got to get the Kyle Larson photo. We got to slide that one up. All right, boom. And then we got him. And then who's in third? Denny Hamlin. Okay, we got to put him in here. All right, where are you, Denny? I see you. There you are. I got a new one of you. Okay, and then who's in fourth? Oh, Big Bad Brad. Big Bad Brad. Okay, here we go. There we go. William Byron, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Big Bad Brad, and Ross Chastain is your top five. Let's go, baby. And it's like, you know, when you fall in love with NASCAR, you fall in love with the drivers and the cars and the decals, the sponsors, the tracks, the fans, the memorabilia. I mean, it's just, I don't know. And then the sounds of the horsepower. It's like, it's hard to describe. I mean, you know, you understand why people like baseball or football or basketball, but NASCAR, you have to be a special breed, you know, of person, you know, to really love it. Not just be a car guy or a car girl, you know, because there's a lot of people that love cars, but they're not into NASCAR. Fucking A, I love this. It just makes my weekends complete. It's just like knowing I have a Sunday night football game, except it's just a Sunday day race. But I do like those night races. Don't let that fool you. The night races for me are some of the best. Under the lights is just a cool feeling. Look at that. Suarez, 7th, 4th, and 10th. 3 top 10s for Suarez. You would never see that last year. He's, like I said, I feel that him and Ross, you know, they're really working strongly together. I know Pitbull is involved, you know, obviously, and he knows he's going to be making some money there. And especially when Ross Chastain gets to a point where he wins that championship. And then imagine if Daniel Suarez can keep up this type of consistency. And if we can say Daniel Suarez is a top 10 driver, and then you have him and Ross in the top 10, that's going to be huge for the future, for not only that particular organization with only 2 cars, but what it could mean to getting a 3rd car down the road and just the success with those 2. Oh, Truex and Logano bumping and grinding. Joey's like, you want to make friends? And Martin's like, get the fuck off me, you little flea, motherfucker. Oh, Truex will fucking wreck his ass. Let's race. Let's get it. But that's definitely not going to make Martin real happy. Yeah. Well, well, he did last week as well. You know, when you're starting off way back, and then he started to move up the field early on. But we got to be able to see the consistency. Can you make it, you know, for more than half the race? And you got to be a little bit lucky and not get caught up in the big wreck or big wrecks. So 12th, 5th, and 9th, Harvick is an OG. It's going to be sad to see him go. I mean, I know he's not everyone's favorite, but I think he's like the guy that everyone respects. You know what I mean? You might not be a Kevin Harvick OG fan, and that's fine. But for a guy that's been racing as long as him, you know, some people don't like him, and they'll have their reasons, maybe because of their favorite driver and him having beef. But I mean, I think Harvick is probably the most respected OG that's racing right now. I mean, besides Kyle Busch, you know, kind of being OG up there. I mean, Kyle Busch might win a fucking championship this year. I don't think Kevin Harvick's going to, you know, but it's nice to be able to see, hopefully, Harvick go out, you know, into the sunset on a positive note. I know for him, it's trying to win the championship in his last year, but I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think Harvick can make the playoff. I mean, I think that. So. No, I don't want Baker. I don't want any mid-level pieces. I would rather fail with Trask and then try to get Caleb and Drake May next year. You know, if Kyle ends up being good and we win like 9 or 10 games and we get a wild card, so be it. But I'm hoping for like 5 wins or less so I can get Caleb or Drake May. Drake May would be my number 1 choice. Caleb would be my number 2. So, and then obviously we'll see what Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. do, but they're not going to be as highly touted. Even if they have great years in college, Caleb and Drake are more NFL built. So like, I think Michael Penix Jr. and Bo Nix are like kind of projects, kind of like Will Levis and Richardson. You're not going to want to take a project number 1. Yes, there's some good things about them, but how are they going to do on the NFL side? I have to be sure. And even if you're sure, Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, 1-2, it doesn't work out all the time. Carson Wentz, you know, you get these guys at the top. It doesn't mean it's going to work out. You know, sometimes you got to be able to have that feeling. Like I had that feeling over Herbert over Mariota. I knew Mariota would never be a top 10 quarterback for his career. You know, I think he's a good player. He's a great man, a leader on and off the field, but injuries is his deal, you know, and just not being able to stay injury, you know, free. And he has a cap on his skill set. You know, it's like you could be great on college, but that doesn't mean you're going to be a Heisman in the NFL also. You know, a lot of guys aren't, you know, they just capitalize at the right time, at the right moment. But sometimes we get guys that are like Heisman winners and you're like, oh my God, like Barry Sanders. You're like, yeah, this guy is the best. And then, you know, he ends up having one of the best careers, arguably the best running back of all time, season in, season out. Yes, Walter Payton and Jim Brown and all these great, you know, running backs. But I mean, 10 years, 10 Pro Bowls, all pros. The guy could have went to probably 15 straight. You know, it's but when you leave out on the top, you know, the legacy is different. So that's why I have a big thing for like Sandy Koufax and Barry Sanders. They left in their prime. They didn't stay for 15 or 20 years. And if they did, then they probably would even be above and beyond where we think they are right now. And most people think Koufax is the best left-handed pitcher ever over, you know, guys like Steve Carlton from the Phillies, Randy Johnson, big unit from the Mariners and Expos and many other teams, Yankees, lots of other teams, Diamondbacks, right? You know? All right, we're 20 laps in. Look at Denny's car. Ooh, it's a new design. Short track racing, baby. Yeah, Baker boo, Baker boo. Yeah, not of all time though. Derrick Henry's great, but there's others that are better. Currently, right now, you know, in the league, yeah, he's definitely been the workhorse. And I know you love Bama players. At least he's not Trent Richardson. That's the only bugaboo that you guys have ever really had. You know, I don't really count the A.J. McCarrons and the quarterbacks because Bama never really recruits quarterbacks until, you know, now with this Bryce Young, you actually got one there. Like, wow, right? Because if Bama starts getting quarterbacks like that, then you're fucking done. You know, if they can start getting like a top-tier quarterback with all the top-tier everything else, yeah, it's going to get back to being Bama again. Yeah, but Barry is quite a bit better than Henry. Barry is legendary. No one ran like Barry. I even watch highlights now and then go back and watch highlights of Barry, and I'm just like, I don't even understand how the cuts that he was making is possible. Like, I've never seen someone with legs, ankles, calves, and just like the joints and the bones and the muscles to move and stop and cut and go so quickly and not tear an ACL, PCL, MCL. You know, I don't know. He's just a freak of nature, that guy, Barry Sanders. 24 laps in, but I do love some Derrick Henry. Yeah, but the Bills wouldn't even need Derrick Henry. They could get someone like a Jamal Williams, and that would be good enough. You know, but they need to get a bell cow. And if you get Jamal Williams, you're going to pay less, a lot less, and you're going to get the same type of results, if not more. So, and I actually think that out of all the human beings that are in the NFL, I think Jamal Williams is number one. I mean, that guy is a true, genuine, one of one, watches anime, down to earth, chilled person, nerd. And it's totally cool with that. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of personalities and there's a lot of people that interview. No one does an interview better than Jamal Williams. And I imagine Packer fans probably still miss him. I know I would if I was a Packer fan. All right, we're 26 laps in on stage one. Green flag race, and Byron, Larson, Hamlin, Keselowski, and Christopher Bell just moved up a spot to fourth.
It's a really good point. And listen to Larry, if anybody's going to split this stage, it's going to have to be pretty soon. Now, who would that be? There's some of these guys.
Bell, Keselowski.
That car is evil underneath up him, and you don't have to look too far back and the leaders coming. Some of those guys got a decision to make pretty quick.
Mike's making sure that O-Dog isn't eating air sandwiches. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. $8 holla. Good start. Thank you. What was the final score in the Bama basketball game? $8 holla, bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Appreciate you. Bang, bang. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, brother. Let me know what you want to see. Probably Kyle Busch.
If you have heart failure, entrust your heart to Entresto. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or allosterone, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema and low blood pressure.
Mike's like, yeah, baby, $10 holla. All the Kyle Busch. Appreciate you. All right, let's get some photos up. Let me know what you want to see. I got you. Mike's doing his own dono train. Appreciate you. Another $10 holla. Thank you, man. Means a lot. Appreciate you very much. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom. Bang, bang. Thank you so much. Oh, they beat the brakes off of them. 82-63. Woo. Nice. 18. Let's get to a hundo. Yeah, and like I said, I am going to be pulling for Bama Houston. If I can't get Bill Self in there with Kansas, obviously I like watching Kansas basketball, but it might be too much without Bill Self in there, with his medical condition and everything. So, plus it's also hard to win back-to-back. Even if Bill Self was 100% and didn't have the heart attack or the heart condition, let's be honest, as great as Kansas is, or a Duke or a North Carolina or a Kentucky or any of these teams in the past, it's really tough to go back-to-back in any sport, especially college hoops. So that's facts. Maybe it's a Bama basketball year. Maybe it's a Houston year. I don't know. Tom is making sure he's coming through in the clutch. $10 holla. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I put a lot of energy and effort, and even though we might not be known across the United States or the globe yet, we just got to keep grinding it out, and eventually people will wake up and see how many things that I am doing. And we have great fans, great room, great knowledge, and I'm going to give you great photos, and just a matter of time before people start catching on. I appreciate you very, very much, Tom. $9.99, my boy. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. And let me know what you want to see, Tom. I'll do any of your favorite drivers, past or present. It can really be anything you want. Normally, we stick to the theme of whatever we're doing. But if you want to throw up, your favorite football player, wrestler, car, nostalgia, whatever it is, or if it ends up being a race car driver, past or present, we can do that as well. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. Let me know what you guys want for photos. And again, today's going to be a long day. I'm going to be doing this. And then, like I said, probably when I have my hour break, I won't even be able to take a break. I'll take Paisley probably on an hour walk. And then I'll start prepping for Team USA, Team Mexico. And Then we'll be right back at it later tonight. So, Byron. Okay, I got you. All right, let's get some Kyle Busch and William Byron up here for you guys. For Mike and for Tom.
Really fast. I'm telling you, I think it's going to come down to just like we saw last week. Whoever beats one another out of those pits for that track position could be your winner.
Denny Hamlin running one spot off where he started with about a 1.1 second fall off from his fastest lap. Good run in the early going for Team RFK. Brad Keselowski running in the top 7, and Christopher Buescher.
Byron, Larson, Hamlin, Bell, and Blaney. And I'm just trying to get a couple cool photos up here for you guys supporting me. And I can always get them during the commercial break, but I mean, I can multitask. We're watching the race. Get you some cool photos. Occasionally throw in photos of the top 5 and top 10. 24 to go. 23 to go. Let's go. Sarah with $1. Appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. It's all about that support, you know, and once you get one person, usually it'll lead to another. Thank you so much. Bang, 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 bang. Thank you. Appreciate you. You guys are electric. Thank you. More photos. Let me know what you want to see for photos too, Sarah. Ooh, I actually like that one. That one actually looks kind of nice. The concept. Okay, baby. All right, let's get some William Byrons up here, and we'll get some more Kyle Busch's up as well. Hendrick has got, you know, it's like those people like William Byron where it's like you look at their team, and everyone talks about Chase and talks about Kyle Larson. They're deep. Look at, like, if you actually look at all the drivers that Hendrick has, I mean, there's 2 that are really popular and then 2 that are good but don't get enough love. And it's pretty impressive to see what they've built, but it is Hendrick. I mean, a team that had Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson. I mean, you already know what it is. Byron still sitting in first.
Yeah, but he has the wheel pretty straight. He gets it really rotated in the center. You can see he cuts down really straight. That's going to help so much with power down. That's smooth. That looks good.
It looks a little tight to me, and I think that's where that.
Yeah. Oh, they're always stacked. They're always going to be known as the powerhouse where everyone's coming for them. You know, it's always going to be like that. You know, even after, you know, Chase and Kyle, I mean, they're going to go after the next phenoms, you know what I mean? Even, and then when Chase and Kyle become the old guys, there's going to be 2 new guys that are going to come in there, and then it's going to be wild. Like, imagine Kyle and Chase being the old guys on the back end, being like driver 3 and 4, and then they got 2 new guys that are just as good as them when they were young. I mean, essentially, that's what's going to happen at some point. Yes, they are. Byron, Larson, Hamlin, Bell, and Blaney. Yeah, let's get some Chase representation on here, too. And also, obviously, William Byron rocking the 24 of like a Jeff Gordon. It looks cool. You know, the 24 is my favorite number, obviously because of Griffey. But, you know, the 24 car, no matter who it is, you're always going to have that Jeff Gordon. And then, you know, the William Byron vibe. I mean, it's just a cool number, cool looking car. I don't think I've ever seen William Byron in an ugly car before. I mean, with Jeff Gordon, too. It's like, can you even remember the last time that you saw a car that was rocked by Jeff or William that looked just totally terrible? And I like the flames on the side there. Sometimes those little subtle details, you know, it makes it, you know, go from like a good car to like, oh, that's a nice looking car. But I always like the concepts that they have. So most of them are a little different from each other, but I mean, they never look bad. Never see the 24 look bad. This one reminds me of Jeff. That's kind of like a Jeff Gordon kind of vibe to me, that one. Yes, we got to get a photo of him. Yes. So I'm talking about. We talk about him. Everyone's been talking about him, I think, on the low. Like, even people that aren't fans of him are rooting for him. I don't think he realizes that. You know, it's like we see what's going on. We don't want you to do bad, you know, especially if you're like a top 12, top 15 talent where you can drive like a top 10 driver normally, you know. So hopefully things get a little bit better there for Tyler Reddick. Let's get some chase. Napa know-how. Byron, Larson, Hamlin, Bell, and Blaney. I think I still got this starting five still, right? What do we got? We got Byron, Larson, Hamlin, Bell, and then Blaney moved up. Where are you, Ryan? I got a new one of you today. There you are. Napa know-how. Just sucks that we have to wait so long. I waited all year, and then now this happens. But again, we know that, you know, Kyle Busch had this happen, you know, a few years back where he got hurt and then ended up winning the championship. So, well, what a story that would be. I mean, Chase has got the talent, but I mean, I don't know. Everything would kind of have to fall into place for that to happen. And he's just missing out on time on the track, which sucks. So we'll see if they end up giving him the exception or not. I don't know how that's going to work out. But, you know, even if he comes in 5 weeks from now, you already know he's going to win 1 to 4 races. You know, it's like it's going to happen. I'd be very shocked after the injury, unless the injury is really terrible and he's having problems with it, that I would assume at the very minimum he's going to win 1 race. But I still think he can win, you know, 2 to 4 races. Now, if he was not injured within this first like 5-6 weeks, maybe there's a win here. You know, but 5 races for Chase isn't really a lot. I mean, to other people it is, you know, but for him, it's like, sometimes 5 is bad. You know, sometimes you can probably get closer to 10 at some point in his career, you know, like Larson had a couple years ago. But the bottom line, anyone getting to double digit in a season is going to be extraordinary because we just have so much competition and the parity, you know, it's just like everyone first time winners. It's like, I don't know how often we're going to see 10 plus wins in a season moving forward. I know we'll get it every few years. Someone's going to go off, Chase or Kyle or somebody, Ross, Joey, Kyle, you know, but it's not going to be a regular thing. Napa know-how.
Especially off the corner. You hear him talking about being loose, and then tight to center, and then loose on the outside. That snapping loose on the exit can get you in trouble.
7 laps to go.
Not sure the problem on McLeod's car. He went high in turn 4 and hit the wall. Ricky Stenhouse. Watch this.
Got out from underneath of him, got up in the trash, got into the wall. Just a kiss, though.
Oh, Artie, that's just butter on the bagel. That's not hit the wall.
It's
Just a smear.
A smear.
A smear.
There you go. Bagel fans know what that is.
Oh, look at that.
All right, 6 to go.
So interesting about what the driver's experience inside the car.
Absolutely. Look at that heart rate down there. Through the roof. That'll do that to you, getting in that wall, slipping, sliding around, holding on to that baby.
You guys have ever worn a heart rate monitor while you've worked out? You know that 170 beats per minute is ticking. And that's the interesting thing about race car driving is that you really have like the heart rate of a runner, basically. And so I always laughed and said, we do marathons every weekend because it lasts about 4 hours.
Well, I didn't realize that what it did until I
All right, 5 to go.
how much it did. It's about 2 cheap.
Byron, Larson, Hamlin, Bell, Reddick, Blaney, Keselowski, Chastain, Harvick, and Busch are in your top 10. Suarez, Buscher, McDowell round out your top 13. Come on, baby. Point standings. Ross Chastain, number 1. Bowman, Harvick, Suarez, Truex Jr., Hamlin, Bell, Busch, Logano, Buscher, Keselowski. You got your 3 winners in the top 15. But where the hell is Chase? Come on, baby. 4 to go. Come on, Kyle. A couple seconds behind. Kyle is getting close. You already know he's going to end up winning a race, very, very soon. You can tell probably within the next 5 races. I would assume Kyle will end up having a dub if he doesn't win today. Got to take advantage, especially when Chase is out, and try to be able to, get these wins done early. Start stacking chips. Can't believe we're already in our 4th race already. 2 to go.
So important to hold on to that position. If you're Joey Logano, he's going to be doing everything he can do to make that car wide. If you're 47, you're going to try to hit anything.
What's the weather like where you guys are at today? It's rainy here in Oregon. It's kind of nice to be able to see the sunshine out here in Phoenix. Wish that we had a little bit more sun out there, but. Final lap in stage 1. I assume William Byron will take this.
And here comes William Byron off turn 4 to win stage 1.
I think it just based on the laps and what's up to today, you know what I mean, at this point. So, but yeah, Ross was at 129 going in. So, like I said, I don't think people realize how good like Ross really is. I mean, 2 top 10s, 1 top 5. I mean, the guy is always going to be up there at the top, and he's right there with Chase and Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, and Joey Logano. And that's what made me really impressed with him. It's like I know that the recklessness is there, taking bad, gambles, wrecking our favorite drivers and whatnot. But then you also seen him take chances and have it work, bounce off the wall, and do some kind of miraculous things that, we've been kind of waiting to see who the next is to compete with some of the other top 4, because I think, race in, race out. I mean, I think a lot of people, they look at Hendrick and they're like, okay, you got Chase and Kyle. Then you got the others. You got Joey Logano and Kyle Busch. Who's the other? And for me, it's pretty clear, and all those top 10s, all those top 5s. And also the coolest thing is that his success is rubbing off on Suarez. That's the best part. Because then if I can get Suarez up there too in the top 10, that's awesome, man. Like, especially with a Trackhouse only having 2 cars. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better duo, especially if Suarez can keep it up. I mean, Suarez is right now 1, 2, 3. I think he's 4th going into the race point-wise. It was Chastain 1, Bowman 2, Harvick 3, Suarez 4, and I think Truex 5 was the points going into today. Surprising, Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, I don't need him. If I want to be bad, I can be bad with Kyle Trask. I want to get the 1st pick or 2nd or 3rd pick in the draft next year. So, no, I don't want anybody. Baker, any name that is floating around, I don't want them. I'll stick with what I have and have a bad team for a year and then try to get my franchise QB the next year. But absolutely would not want Baker or anyone else. I mean, I already know what it's going to be. It's going to be a terrible football for me next year. I'll be more into the other teams than my own next year. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be absolutely disgusting, terrible. And when Tampa's on TV, people are going to get pissed. That's just the bottom line. And we're going to be terrible. So I'd rather be terrible without Baker. I don't need him to tank. I can tank with Trask. I'm fine, And then hopefully we can get Drake May from North Carolina or Caleb Williams. That's my goal. So.
NASCAR on Fox is sponsored by the Credit One Bank, NASCAR American Express Car, and by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? Stage one complete. The 2023 World Baseball Classic continues tonight with a key matchup between Mike Trout and Team USA.
Yeah, baby, I'm doing that. All right, let's get another one for Tom here. I got to get you like a checkered flag one. This Martinsville one is pretty cool.
William Byron has won both stage one last week and this week.
Let's go, baby.
And we'll highlight Byron's crew as our pit crew of the week, led by Rudy Eagle,
Pit crew of the week, baby.
Patton, Oren Osalowski, Spencer Bishop, and Landon Walker. The over-the-wall crew for William Byron. And that last pit stop was key to him getting it done last week in Las Vegas. All right, here come to pit road, Jamie.
All right, baby. Nice job, William. Woo! So fresh and so clean. All right, everyone's hitting the pits. 64 laps in of the short track racing here in Phoenix out of 312 laps. And I don't know. I just wish it wasn't United Rentals Work United 500. Too much United in the title, but you know, you have a lot of fucking money. You can name it whatever the fuck you want, I guess, huh?
Stop, boys, or pit stall, so you come out number one.
Kyle Larson first up pit road as we look at our race off pit road sponsored by Ram.
I got you. Yeet.
That was the short one. Stage 2 and 3 are twice as long as stage 1. Strategy will change.
I'm at this week, Joy, telling people that Geico has been offering savings for over 85 years. That's longer than the Buffalo Wing's been around.
Dozen wings.
$14 dono from my boy Mike. He always represents. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much.
Motorcycle insurance.
Let's go. Thank you.
No, my lips are actually burning.
Geico, over 85 years of symptoms and service. See how you can take.
$14 dono. Oh, Cindy.
I can't believe this is how you kids talk to your friends.
There we go, baby.
You have a nice day. Look at the size of these butterfly shrimp.
$14 dono on the Cash App. Bang, 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 boom, 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 baby. Let's go, baby. Appreciate you. $14 dono. Bang, bang. Thank you so much.
If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Authorized for
Yes.
emergency use, Paxlovid is an oral treatment for people 12 and up who have mild to moderate COVID-19 and have a high risk factor for it becoming severe.
My symptoms are mild now, but I'm not waiting. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Having even one risk factor, like being over 50, diabetes, or smoking, increases your chances of severe COVID. Taken within 5 days of symptoms, Paxlovid reduced the risk of developing severe.
Let's go put a pioneer of NASCAR on the screen, huh? We'll put up one of Mike's favorites. A pioneer in the game. A little red farmer, baby.
Tell your doctor if you have any serious illnesses, allergies, liver or kidney disease, are pregnant or plan to become pregnant, are breastfeeding or use birth control. Paxlovid may affect how your birth control works. Don't take Paxlovid if you're allergic to nirmatrelvir, ritonavir, or any of its ingredients. Serious side effects can include
Appreciate you.
reactions, liver problems, and issues with HIV medicines. Other side effects include altered taste, diarrhea, high blood pressure, muscle aches, abdominal pain, nausea, and feeling unwell.
With my asthma, I knew it could be riskier. It's COVID.
Yeah, Byron is on fire. He is. I know you do. That's why I put it out. You know, that's once I get to know people, you know, it becomes more than just, you know, fans and friends. You know, a lot of people become family to me here, you know, and anytime I can do things to make the day a little bit better and a little bit more enjoyment while we're watching it on TV. If I can throw up some old school and new school along the way, you're not going to get that anywhere else. I know some people, they love to be able to see like the positions, behind, the person streaming and whatnot. I'll have to use a different setup if I was going to do something like that. But I don't know. I mean, I see why people like it. I would rather do my own like custom scoreboard type of situation than just having like an ESPN page in the background. But I know sometimes people like that for NBA or for NASCAR because of all the moving positions and whatnot. But I don't know. If you're already watching it on the fucking TV, you don't necessarily need it on the computer as well. But I get it. Everyone has a presentation that they like, but it's really about the people that you're with too. So. Appreciate you, brother. And like also too, it's like I wouldn't even know about some of these people or like, you look into some of these other people if it wasn't for people like you. So I really appreciate the history, and it gets me to, want to learn more, for people that are older than me that have seen more than me on the NASCAR side, of course, Oh, there's Reddick. Ooh, I like that car. That's a swaggy looking look there for Reddick. No wonder he's doing so well. Buckety, buckety, buckety. Let's go right then, boys. Time to blow out the speakers in my room. Volume 84. It's probably too high right now. Tom with a $2 dono. He said, give me that William Byron, baby. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Thank you so much. Yeah, so far no wrecks. And thank you so much, Tom. We appreciate you. In the West, in the NBA, I mean, I think it's pretty easy to say that Denver has to be the favorite because of the Joker, Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray. They're a rebounding, defensive-oriented team first. So there's a reason why they're in first place. The Grizzlies, I'm not really a believer in them because I think with John Morant, he's great. But with like Bane and Brooks, I don't know if you can count on those guys in the playoffs. They don't have a lot of depth to me. Kings are very well-rounded, and I like them, but they're young, but they have a lot of athleticism. And then the Warriors, if they got Steph Curry back, I know that their road record is terrible, 8-9 losses multiple times in the year on the road. But if Steph is there with Clay and with Draymond, I wouldn't count them out as one of the teams that might overachieve and get to the West Finals against like a Denver or a Sacramento or a Grizzlies. So, and then with the Suns, we thought, oh, KD, but now KD's injured, Luka's injured, so that's going to halt a lot of people's stances on Denver. No, Dallas and Phoenix. So, and I don't think Booker, Ayton, and CP3 alone can get them to the West Finals. They could, but CP3 is a liability. So, but the bottom line is, regardless of who comes out of the West, even if it's Denver, they're not going to win the championship. The East is winning the championship, either Milwaukee or Boston, more than likely, unless there's injuries. And then maybe the Sixers can step up and at least get to the Eastern Conference Final and see if they can upset the other team. But it kind of feels like a Boston, Milwaukee, type of thing, but, Giannis got a little banged up. We just have to monitor injuries. But, every East team has a big guy, Tatum, Embiid, Giannis. But it just kind of feels like a Milwaukee, Boston. Boston, I would say it feels like it could be a Boston championship year. Boston over Denver in like 6. That's probably the only team that would actually be able to win a few. So, but the East Coast, Eastern Conference is going to win it all. I would be shocked if the Western Conference won this year. And if they did, then it would maybe, Joker just goes crazy, averages a triple-double and 40 points plus a game. Or you're getting, KD healthy, and they go on a huge run, and they have those big four, Ayton, KD, D-Book, and CP3, and then they make it work, because with those big four, that could compete with Boston and Milwaukee and the Sixers, but can the Suns get healthy and have that kind of chemistry? Probably not. You know what I mean? It sounds great. It looks great on paper, like when they had Kyrie, Harden, and KD, but they're all me players. They're all selfish. So if you're all selfish, it's not going to work. You know, that's why it's better to have a team like Sacramento that's got the Harrison Barnes, the De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, Sabonis, where people are playing for each other. Kevin Huerter, they got an actual team. I'll take a team with less talent rather than uber talented, legends at the top, but they don't want to play with each other. It's like, oh, Kyrie's a Hall of Famer, KD, Harden. Oh, look, we got Blake Griffin and LaMarcus, and you still couldn't do anything. So it shows you it's not just about, the talent that the players have. You have to play, team basketball and not be a dickhead and be fucking selfish. And that's where it is. So that's my kind of, take on it. Yes. And I already know he is going to be one of those guys in the runnings for sure. Larson, baby. Yeah.
Let's try it over here. Over where, Tony? Dang it, we already tried that. Maybe we should try harder. Maybe you should try to be quiet, old man. Why don't you jump off that tractor and come make me?
Get 0% financing and save thousands at the Mahindra Spring Sale.
30-year-old male struck by lightning, full cardiac arrest. Could be some damage to major organs. We'll do our best.
Tomorrow, dog's in critical condition, but medically,
yes.
The next 24 hours are going to be crucial. I think I'm trapped in some kind of alternate universe fever dream. I'm sorry, I'm running out of time.
Sure, get you another William Byron here. And anyone that has donated any photos you want to see, just holler. I got you, man. I got you.
At Fred Meyer, we want our fresh produce to meet your expectations, which is why we do up to a 27-point inspection to check for things like color and scarring. Because when it comes to fresh, higher standards mean fresher produce. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra.
Some things just go together. They finish each other's sentences and lift each other up. They may be very good by themselves, but together, there's something special. Campfires and s'mores, movies and popcorn, song and dance. And now Columbia Bank and Umpqua Bank, two community-minded banks coming together to offer more resources to help your business grow and your family thrive. Columbia Bank and Umpqua
I know, right? It's crazy.
Choose cat allergies, your hairline, or that.
I know Byron was just so locked and loaded. Like sometimes you get a guy that wins, a stage 1, a stage 2, maybe doesn't win stage 3, and then dominates the whole race, and then they get towards the end and then they lose. But then other times they dominate and then the right thing happens, they win. But it's just sad sometimes when you get guys that will be leading, stage 1, stage 2, like a Martin Truex Jr., and then all of a sudden wreck, and then someone like Ricky Stenhouse Jr. comes out on top and you feel a little cheated. But that's what happens. It's racing, right? Wolfie is on? Nice. She's the best.
As they have the last few years, in November, NASCAR will return here to Phoenix to crown a champion in the Cup Series. Who will be the 4 drivers that battle for that championship? You could make a case for Kyle Larson. He and William Byron have led every lap so far, all 83 of them, with Larson out front by 1 full second. Let's get an update on the Coca-Cola Racing family.
Hamlin, Suarez, Logano, Dillon.
Daniel Suarez in 13th. Joey Logano just got the free pass. He's back on the lead lap. Austin Dillon in 27th. Stage 1 was 60 laps. This stage is 125 laps. We did a view of several different driving styles.
Harvick, Bowman, Busch. I love the racing helmets too. So colorful. You know what I mean? Everyone's got their little swag with their like gloves and the helmet and everything. It's very cool. I think if you just love NASCAR culture, everything is cool. You know what I mean? Like collectible wise, for me being a collector too, it's like the racing gloves. And I remember like the racing gloves that like Dale Jr. had with the bones. I always thought that was killer. Like, you always want to look at the little subtle details. You look good, you feel good, you race good. And Fox is not as good as NBC. I think we're pretty clear on that, right? As a group, like Fox tries, but their broadcast is definitely not as good as NBC's, in my opinion. So we just have to wait till half of the season when they do the cutoff. Payne got paid. I think I saw that notification come up on my phone. So if you have anything that you want to go over, please do. Thank you, Sarah, for sharing it on the Twitter there and everything. I appreciate that.
The trouble they had on pit road with the left front, but in that race car, he's been very happy. While a number of drivers complaining about handling characteristics, Tyler Reddick says his car is pretty close to neutral, so keep an eye on him as he starts starting to wear it off again.
100%. I totally agree. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to be watching, it's like watching wrestling if you didn't have announcers that were into it. Like you need that energy and that passion. You just can't be watching it like when people are at home sitting in the lazy boy eating chips off their belly, drinking beer. Like, we need to have people that are really excited to be there and then that also have the knowledge, but then also have a good voice. And that's the problem. They'll try to get, former drivers, men or women, like with Danica here, you know what I mean? But sometimes it's a good fit. Sometimes it's not, like I said, broadcasting and doing things on the microphone are a lot harder than people think. Like, you could do, sports and you can do all these different things, but once you actually hop on the microphone, it's a whole nother animal. Not everyone can do it. Yeah, but I agree. I just like the NBC broadcast, more energy there too. He says, I sleep. And I don't think Fox is like terrible, but it could use improvement. Camera angles, maybe different people in the booth. I mean, like I said, I see they have like the graphics and stuff. Like, I don't think it's like, it could be much worse. You know what I mean? But for it to be on Fox or NBC, if you're trying to get new people, to hop into this, you have to be able to, kind of think like a streamer thinks, I feel. You have to like presentation on, on streaming platforms and stuff, using some of the techniques that streamers use and whatnot to be able to have it look good. It's not terrible, but NBC is better. I totally agree. I think we're all on the same page. I think anyone that's like, that actually watches, you can easily tell. All right, let me get some more photos up here as well. Tom, you want some more William Byron? And I can get some more photos for Sarah with some Chase. We get Mike with some more photos as well. I appreciate you guys. And then hopefully we'll get some more people. Obviously I know numbers, are lower than they were from last year. And I don't know how many more people are doing it this year from last year and whatnot. But I mean, regardless if we have a lot or a little, I'm still going to do it every week. So just got to hope that we can get more people to come through. I don't know. And then the thing is like, if some of the newbies or people that are just browsing, if they want to be able to see like an ESPN page in the back, but then that means I can't do any photos of any kind. There's no ticker, there's no photos. And it's just like me with the information behind me. I don't know. I think that looks like shit, but I know some people like it, but I mean, oh, no worries, man. No worries. Everyone's just kind of doing their own thing.
You see Brett sticks his hand out the window and he pointed low. He doesn't want to fight that, right? I mean, sometimes you just cut your losses, but you saw Brett stick his hand out the window and point low. From Kevin's perspective, he's saying, go underneath me.
Well, the Ford, I think, got in the back of him a little bit. Are you sure he was going to go lower? What are you doing?
Is that the middle finger or the pointer finger?
I don't know what finger he showed.
Maybe I read
These guys
that
are
wrong.
reaching each other hard.
Larson, Byron, Bell, Hamlin, Ross Chastain, Big Bad Brad, Harvick, Reddick. Reddick, yes. Reddick is an 8th. Busch in 9th, yes. And Blaney in 10th. There we go. Hell yeah. Fucking A, dude. He's like, I'm in the back. I'm terrible. Well, you're not terrible, dude. Good for him. I hope he has a top 10 finish today. I'm not a personal fan of his, but I don't like seeing people fucking suffer that are talented, or just people suffering in general. Come on, baby.
My A1C stayed here. It needed to be here.
Ray's A1C is down with Rebelsis.
I'm down with Rebelsis.
Yeah, I was planning on going to like Einstein Bagels this morning and getting all kinds of bagels and spreads, but I fucking woke up too late. And then I was like, had to do dishes, and I didn't get a chance to take Paisley on a walk yet, so I have to do it after this NASCAR race before the baseball game. So with USA and Mexico. I mean, I'm a routine person, it's like I got to be able to get things in a routine, or otherwise I feel my day is kind of, I don't say it's fucked, but it's just, but sometimes, you have dreams and goals, and you gotta grind it out. So
Increases low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems. Need to get your A1C down? You can pay as little as $10 per prescription.
75 years around this epic track. But we've never stopped moving forward. Where we go next 75, we're all better off with an Allen.
Bring my dogs here. You need cars. eBay Motors ensures a guaranteed fit. Hey, Dave. Yep. Wait. How are those new wipers?
They're small.
Just go to eBay Motors where the check is a guaranteed fit. That's right.
I need to try it first.
Ooh, the Chewy app. Clumping litter, salmon pate. We have enough to splurge on catnip toys. I feel so accomplished. Pet me, please. Great prices, happy pets.
all right, just trying to see what else we got going on. I imagine there's all kinds of other stuff going on right now. I've just like been prepping and everything. Houston is down to Memphis 50-38 with 15 minutes left in the AAC championship. Wow. That wouldn't be good if Houston loses. And Bama got a very strong win against A&M, 82-63. Okay. Yeah, keep let me know. Let me know for news or any other things that are going on right now. Obviously, I know they'll have some NBA that's on today. They had a late game of like the Lakers on late tonight, but I figured I'm going to do the USA. I can always do the Lakers or whoever's playing late, Monday through Friday. But if the World Baseball Classic, and I haven't been able to do XFL, like I've wanted to do it, but when you have these other events that are going on that are a little bit, I don't know, maybe more enticing, a little bit more entertaining, that we have to put the XFL on the back burner until it comes to an opportunity when we can do it again. Or if they have a game like on a Thursday night, then we can either do NBA or that. We can do like a vote. It's not like I've forgotten about the XFL. It's just, when you got racing and wrestling and, other things going on, NASCAR, World Baseball Classic. I mean, fuck, I can only do so many things. Now we got Larson, Byron, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, and Ross Chastain, baby. All right, Ross. Ross is always in the top 10. It's like no matter what happens, it's like he just lingers. A lingerer. He's always lingering. I see Kyle Busch there in 8th. I love seeing that. Reddick in 10th. I love seeing that. Suarez is 12th, so he's still close to that top 10. You got Bubba in 16th, Truex in 17th.
I think your pick, Clint, for Kevin being the one at the end at the top, I think it's a pretty good bet. He looks super solid, and he got.
Yes, he did. $45. Let's get to a hundo. Let's do it. Stage 2. You know, it's kind of crazy too for all the haters that, you know, talk about NASCAR. It's like turning left. NASCAR is, if you're a fan, it's actually really easy to watch. It's like, it's kind of like mellow. It's like, it kind of reminds me, I mean, when we get wrecks and when we have, you know, cautions and other things, then it kind of slows down a little bit. But I don't know, watching, you know, the cars on the track and being able to hang out with you guys, it's super like relaxing to me. It's like if I go in the kitchen and I'm going to make a meal or I'm going to make something, which I'm not going to do all the time, but it's like, you know, being able to smell, you know, like if you're making like spaghetti or you're doing like, you know, tacos or burritos, and then you're just cooking up the ground beef and putting the seasoning in, and you can smell the meat and, you know, kind of burning off, and you get the steam, and, you know, it's just like that same kind of relaxing feeling that I typically have. I mean, that's what NASCAR does for me on the weekends. I love it, man. And I'm never going to stop watching. You know, I mean, I had that gap where I stopped because I didn't have any people I thought that would enjoy it with me. So, you know, and you know, it's kind of hard to be able to go in there. I mean, I guess I could have just sat there and just watch races by myself, and you know what I mean? But it's always better to be able to like bounce ideas and being able to watch with people that enjoy it as well. Because obviously, as we know, NASCAR, NHL, baseball, it's a selective crew. You know, it's either you love it or you hate it or you don't like it. There's not really a lot of in between for people with NHL, baseball, and NASCAR. You're either about it or you're not. So Tom is just wanting William to win everything. He's going to win all of the races. Yeah. Or we might have another winner, though. I mean, we had 3 separate winners so far: Busch, Stenhouse, and Byron. I mean, it could be Harvick today, it could be Ross, you know, or we could end up getting our first, you know, doubled up winner, you know, at this point. So I'm interested. And like I said, I'm going to try to do every single race, you know, throughout the year, as long as my mental health is good. You know, and like I said, I'm trying to keep myself busy. And as long as I have a routine and keep myself busy, I feel that I've been controlling it pretty good. Like I haven't really felt like I used to. So that's good. I mean, it has been kind of a struggle. You know, like you want to be able to grow. You want to have a good opportunity to possibly get subs, possibly get donos, you know, when you're doing it full time, then, you know, and improve things. But if we actually look at the numbers, like the NBA streams, you know, since the NFL is so oversaturated, the NBA streams actually are decent. They're projecting upwards. You know, World Baseball Classic, we got like 1,400, you know, on that. And I know some people get way more than that, but you have to understand, like, you know, when you go from getting like 100 to 300, you know, and then you can go from 300 to 500 and then 500 to 1,000, then you just want to kind of build off that momentum. But it also depends, you know, what's on and what's going on, you know, with throughout the, you know, the sporting year and the sporting week. So
NASCAR on Fox is sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places. Kyle Larson now leading William Byron by almost a second. Let's look at our Xfinity fastest lap.
Who's got the fastest lap? Byron? Yep.
William Byron back on
Yeet.
3, followed by Kyle Larson at lap 4. Denny Hamlin's fastest lap was lap 4, and Brad Keselowski on the 5th lap of the race. Christopher Bell on lap 2. And they have all run up in the top 8.
Let's go. They're battling.
But here's our leader, Kyle Larson, starting to get into lap traffic.
I think this is going to be
52 laps. He's like, get the fuck out of my way. Cars that are a lap down.
You know, lap traffic, we've heard from everybody, it's impossible to pass. That took him 2 laps to get by the 77. I don't know. I think this might be a question of whether or not Kyle will come in sooner than later, or if William will try and undercut him just a little bit and pit that lap earlier to try and see if he can pass.
No worries, man. You got you know, the chitlins to take care of and everything else. No worries, man. I'm just happy that we can have like the same regular crew. Of course, you want more people, chances to grow, but you know, like I said, sometimes you're just going to have that same kind of like family group that I usually have the same people that watch wrestling with me every wrestling pay-per-view, the same people that do the NASCAR, and every once in a while we'll get some, you know, people hopping in and trying to do some kind of raid with Eric Almirola, you know, and do that, but you know, it is what it is. As long as NASCAR's on, then I know you guys love it. Then I'm going to keep grinding it out. And I really do enjoy it. It's like if I miss NASCAR in a week, I feel like shit. You know, if I don't do the stream or if I don't watch it, if I'm sick or something, like I feel lost. Like I have to watch the replay. Like my life will not go forward unless I get that out of the way. So luckily I record most of the races, or I'll watch the replay tomorrow. And like tomorrow morning, they'll have it on like FS1, FS2. And oh, Denny, what's going on here? Uh-oh. What the fuck? What happened? Oh. How many tires are they going? 2? 4? No, they're going 4 tires. Stage 2, 59 laps in of 125. Tell me, Jamie Little. He said they're crazy at times. Yeah, Byron's car's been lit. He said, hurry, hurry, hurry. Jack that car up. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Everyone's coming in. Move it, move it, move it, move it. Get that tire on. There we go. There we go. Ross is like, here I am. Nice to see a little bit of everything. Chevy, Ford, Toyota, Ford, Chevy, Chevy, Ford, Ford, Chevy, Ford, Toyota. So it's a nice mix. It's not just, you know, one brand. And a lot of times we'll just be seeing Chevys at the top or Ford at the top, and Toyota is nowhere to be found. So nice to see a little bit, but some of these guys are, you know, going to be going through the pits and everything. We'll see strategy on how this works out. Everyone's pitting. Oh, yeah.
Things cycle around now with all the lead lap cars, say Austin Dillon having been to pit road. You heard Larry talk.
Larson, Byron, Hamlin, Harvick, Ross Chastain are your top 5. Uh-oh. Christopher Bale. Oh. Oh, he's like, my ankle, bro. William Byron's crew falling down, gas coming out, ankles freaking getting twisted. I know, isn't it? It's different. But I feel that he's the most motivated. You know, if you're looking at all that, I think Ross and him are, you know, they have a lot to prove, but especially, you know, when you're going into a new team and maybe people are doubting you, and he put that shit to bed early that, you know what, I can go to any team, to any car, and I'm going to be able to win races. And I honestly feel that he's that good that he could be in a Toyota, a Ford, or a Chevy. And if he has, you know, capable people around him, you know, he's going to be able to get wins. I mean, he's a legend. I mean, you got to look at all the guys that are right now. I mean, obviously with him and Joey, every single week they're always going to have a shot. And then obviously we know with Chase Elliott, when he's out there, obviously with Kyle, they're always going to have a shot. And then you got Ross. And then every once in a while, you're going to have others that will step up and win races like a William Byron or a Ricky Stenhouse Jr. I mean, the field is deep. We're going to get a lot of winners. You know, I feel this year we're going to have a lot of guys that will be like, you know, that'll have one win. You know, there's going to be others that are going to try to get to that too, but I mean, we usually go, 38 deep, and it's not even really 38. Jimmy Johnson, Pastrana, obviously you can't count those guys, but as I'm looking at like the points right now, so cutoff is 16, and then they have 38 drivers linked with points. Jimmy Johnson with 10, Yaley with 18, and Travis Pastrana with 26. Ty Dillon with 10, not good. Yeah.
Buying a car from Vroom is so easy. All you need is a phone and a finger. Just go to vroom.com, scroll through thousands of cars.
And I won't lie, it was going to be hard for me to go from 18 to 8. But sometimes you have, it takes a little time. It's like Dale Jr. going from the 8 to the 88. It was a little weird. You know what I mean? Because your Budweiser 8, it's just, that's what it was, and you're so used to seeing M&Ms, but like this look right here, that's a fire look, and you look good, you feel good, you drive good, and you win. Victory lane, baby. And I think that even if some people don't like Kyle Busch, I think he's more likable than Joey Logano. Joey Logano kind of comes off as like, we know you're great, but I think he kind of comes off a little douchey to some other fans. I think that's a pretty, that's not saying a statement that's not true, but you know what I mean? Kind of comes off as a condescending kind of dickhead, but we know he's great. He's super talented, great driver. Sometimes it feels like he's just like lying to the camera a little bit, kind of being fake, you know what I mean? But he wants to say the right thing to come off as a good guy. But dude, if you're going to be kind of a villain and you're going to be an asshole, you might as well, embrace it. Embrace the Dale Earnhardt, Ross Chastain. Just be yourself. You don't have to be liked by everyone. You know what I mean? And I feel with Kyle Busch, he's like, this is who I am. And I think that's why people maybe don't like him either, but they respect him more. Like, I think Joey's respected, but I think if it came down to Joey or Kyle, more people would be rooting for Kyle than Joey. They're two of the best. And then obviously, you can take your pick between Chase and Kyle Larson. Usually if you're Hendrick, you don't mind either one. They're both fantastic, and they're both at the top. So.
But you just said in his favor, do you think it's that everybody else falls off more than him?
Yeah, but I think, all right, why? It's his driving style. I think he's always been good on the long run, but somehow, some way, Rodney Childers is going to
You like Jeff?
probably a little bit.
Nice.
Give it a take off, and the car comes to him on the long run. Doesn't get tight in the middle quite as much as everybody.
I'll throw you a Jeff up here.
It's all about the fall off, equation, and somehow they're going to have to get that thing going when you get talking about the end of this race and the closing lap so you can be competitive on a takeoff.
Probably the biggest loser on those pit stops was Christopher Bell.
Oh, Christopher Bell. He said, fuck.
But had a 19-second pit stop.
19-second pit stop? What the fuck? The fuck happened?
The key to today's race is going to be to have a car that is universal, meaning you can move around, run the bottom, run the middle, run the top.
There's a legend for you, Tom.
He needs more front turn. They made the back better, but he wanted to adjust it for the front turn, and that's what they just gave him on that last stop.
Well, that's that center, right? Everybody's been talking about these cars all weekend long being loose in, loose off, but tight in the center. He needs some more turn. He needs that thing to rotate in the middle.
I feel like a strength of Kevin's is how smooth he is, and he makes very little mistakes. And so maybe part of what's kept giving him long run is that he's tight in the center, but he's not abusing the car.
Well, hey, that experience, it pays off somewhere. It's got to exactly where.
51 to go in stage 2. Larson, Byron, Hamlin, Harvick, Chastain. Round out your top 5.
You can't drive a slow car fast. What always seems to be that here at Phoenix in particular, the fast cars always got him in it.
All right, let's go just outside the top 10 to Daniel Suarez at 11. And we're
Daniel Suarez having a steady day right now at 11. This race team highlighted this as an important race for them because they struggled here on the shorter tracks last season. His car right now too loose on.
Let's go, Suarez. I'm proud of him, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think, like, to go 6-7 years and not really be relevant at all. and then to go 7th, 4th, and 10th and win your first race in 6 or 7 years, most guys would have quit. They lose a lot of hope. I mean, especially if you're going 20, 30, 40 races, however many there are in a season. Let's say there's 20 to 30, right? 30 times 7 is like 200 races. Imagine not winning a race for like 200 races and then you finally win one. That kind of emotion. You have to be very battle tested and mentally tough. And obviously it's going to help the more top 5s and top 10s you have to keep your, motivation up. But I mean, that's very, very difficult. But, that's why I always will root for Suarez to continue to get better. I like his story. Plus, it's cool to be able to represent for the Latinos and the Latinas and the Mexican Americans across the globe. Got a nice little tandem here with Ross and Suarez, baby. Ooh, look at this. Larson, Byron, Hamlin, Harvick, and Ross Chastain. 3 wide. Oh, caution. Explosion. Tire gone. There it is. Woo! Yeah, where's the other part? Oh, no.
So the first caution for cause in this race comes out at lap 139. Almirola trying to rebound from a crash at the end of the race last week when somebody got up in his line, bringing out the yellow flag.
That's what happens when all those Eric Almirola, Ravioli Almirola fans come in here. Then he just fucks up the whole race for everyone. Is that what happened? They came in here like 6, 7 people. They're like, oh, we're going to raid this with 7 people. And then now you just fucked up the whole race. Good job, guys. Daniel in the building. What to do? Yes, me too. I mean, with Lamar, being his own agent, that's really not ideal. And then, Lamar is limited. Like we know he was an MVP, but people fail to realize when they try to bring up race or this guy needs money and, maybe this guy will go to this team or this team. He hasn't been the same without Marshall Yanda. So if you don't have a good offensive line, you're never going to get that old Lamar that you saw. MVP Lamar won't exist. But the thing is, if he goes to another team, you better hope that he has an offensive line. So when they say, oh, Lamar to the Raiders, what do you really think he's going to do there with no offensive line? He'll never be able to get the ball to Devontae, with Renfro or Waller. It looks great on paper. But if the O-line stinks and the defense stinks, you're only going to get so many wins. Like what, 6, 7? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I know Lamar's got talent, but he needs help. Lamar needs a wide receiver. Lamar needs a good O-line. And Lamar needs a strong running game, for him not to be able to run around with his head cut off. You know what I mean? So I know he can throw, and he has a good winning percentage and everything. You know what I mean? But the thing is, he's more of a runner than a thrower. And for him to be able to take his game to the next level, he needs to stay in the pocket and throw. But if you don't have a number 1 receiver, that's going to be kind of tough. You had number 1 tight end in Mark Andrews, but I mean, no one ever thought that, the Ravens are a threat. So, I mean, it's up to the Ravens because if they end up moving on, they can say, Huntley and these other guys and some guys that have stepped in for Lamar actually have played just as good or better, and they won't have to pay as much. But I mean, if you have a Huntley or someone else, it's not going to put butts in the seats. Lamar single-handedly puts butts in the seats for the Ravens. But, I mean, do you really think you're going to win a Super Bowl with Lamar in Baltimore? And the answer is no. So I guess if you want to pay some ridiculous amount, $50 million a year, guaranteed money for a guy that's never going to win like Kyler Murray, then go right ahead. But, I mean, I wouldn't do it. So. Oh, nice. Yeah, but I mean, if the Ravens were smart, I mean, for their sake, they probably should try to sign him, because you're not going to be able to get anyone on that level. But that's a personal decision on how much money they want to make or if they want to rebuild. But the Ravens need him more than Lamar needs the Ravens. Lamar can go anywhere, you know what I mean? But Lamar has to go to a place that has an O-line and a running game and a defense. Look at all these Ravioli Amaroli fans that came in here. Now they fucked everything up for us. 44 to go. Yeah, and Lamar really hasn't had the blessing of, like if Lamar came to Tampa and he could throw to Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, I mean, what do you think would happen? Lamar is good enough, to get you, 10 to 12 wins, but it has to be a complete team. If not, then it's going to be 9 wins or less. You have to be able to help him out, and like I said, it just can't be running and throwing the ball to Mark Andrews all the time, 43 to go. Tell him, Regan Smith. Can we get Chase Elliott back soon? Napa, no how. Larson off pit road. Larson, Byron, Hamlin, Harvick, Chastain. Pretty much the same. So far, no extension moves. No.
I'm calling my doctor. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Authorized for emergency use, Paxlovid is an oral treatment for people 12 and up who have mild to moderate COVID-19 and have a high risk factor for it becoming severe.
Rangers, Mariners tied up at 2. White Sox 1, Angels 0. Royals 2, Guardians 1. Dodgers 1, Reds 0. Brewers 3, Cubs 0. Athletics 2, Giants 0. Padres 2, A 0. Diamondbacks C, Rockies 3. And Braves beat the Pirates 11-3. Orioles beat the Red Sox 6-4. Astros beat the Marlins 5-1. Yankees, Red Sox tied at 3. Cardinals 5, Nats 1. Final 8-7 Tigers over the Twins, and then 8-3 Blue Jays over the Phillies. Rays 10, Mets 4. And then XFL action. Obviously, we got Renegades and Battlehawks knotted up at 3 with 2 minutes left in the second quarter. You need some more points. Vipers, Defenders on later on tonight. The Roughnecks beat the Guardians 44-16. Orlando is trash. And Sea Dragons beat the Brahmas 15-6 last night. So DC Defenders are 3-0, and then the Guardians are 4-0. So you can definitely tell the Roughnecks and the Defenders will be the ones going against each other. And then World Baseball Classic, Canada 10, Great Britain 5, top of the 4th. Japan 7, Australia 1, final. Italy 7, Netherlands 1, final. Israel 3, Nicaragua 3-1 final. And then at 4, Venezuela versus Puerto Rico, which actually will be pretty good. And then later tonight, after this is over, I'm going to be doing United States, Mexico on FS1. United States 1-0, Mexico 0-1. And then Australia and Czech Republic play at 8 p.m. So
30 times in a row. Does your phone run on Verizon?
And then Canada, United States is on Monday night at 7. So maybe we'll do that over an NBA game tomorrow night. At Freddie Freeman on Canada versus Team USA.
No warehouse store can match the convenience of your locally owned neighborhood Ace. So stop on by. You can also order online for curbside pickup or get what you need delivered today. Around the block with your new stock. With service so good, it's guaranteed. Helpful hardware, folks.
The 2023 World Baseball Classic continues tonight at Chase Field.
Houston is down by 7 to Memphis. That's the one that everyone should be keeping an eye on. Houston at the 1 seed. Because if you're number 1, you are Bama up there. I mean, you don't want to be losing at this point. You're trying to take advantage of Kansas and try to go all the way. So that's surprising. Houston's very athletic, like Alabama too, for college basketball. Like, each team has got 3 or 4 guys. Kansas as well. 41 to go in stage 2. I need to eat something. I need to go outside real quick as well. Take a checkup on Paisley. Meet up with my friend Mary Jane. Eric Almirola. That's what happens when their fans come into the stream. Fucking tire comes off. It ruins everything. All of Eric Almirola's fan club just came into the room and fucked it all up. 40 to go. Oh, good. Good to hear. Let me look to see what NBA stuff is on for tomorrow, too. But I'm thinking Team USA would be much better to do. No disrespect to the NBA, but I got to mix it up. Blazers play the Pelicans today at 4. Go Blazers. What's on tomorrow night? It's Bucks Kings are on, but it's not televised. It's Suns Warriors. So that matchup actually is pretty good. Bucks Kings that's actually better. Bucks Kings is better if Giannis is playing, and Suns Warriors. But I think we'll probably end up doing, even though Suns Warriors, I could get probably 500 and some change in views. I think we have a better chance of getting 500 to 1,500 doing the Team USA. So I think we'll do Team USA. I'll follow the NBA stuff on the screen on the computer, but I think we're going to do, Team USA versus Team Canada tomorrow night at 7, and then we can just watch both, but that'll be the primary. 3 wide. I got more interest in watching Team USA than watching NBA games if I have a choice. It's like XFL, NBA, WBC. I'm doing WBC first. I don't think I'd be the only one that would say that too. So I know I need to turn on that Houston game. Give me an update on that. I need to turn it on as well, just to have it on the background. Oh, of course it's not on. Oh, I'd have to watch it through the app here. Let me see if it lets me watch it through ESPN app specifically. There it goes. All right, I have it on. Hopefully it'll load. All right, I'll just turn off that volume. Okay, I got it on. I had to do it through ESPN.com and then their watch player through my cable provider, but I got it synced. 62:55 with 6:31 left. All right, so if something is on, I don't want to miss it, Like it says, if I know something is worth watching, why not watch 2, 3, 14 things at once, My eyes can bounce around. 36 to go. Larson, Byron, Harvick, Hamlin, Big Bad Brad. So we really only had that one major caution with the tire going out when Eric Amarola's entire fan base came into the room and fucked everything up. And, other than that, it's been a pretty clean race. So all of 7 Eric Amarola's fans came in. 36 to go. 35 to go. Yeah, I got it on too. So I would watch Sarah's Battlehawks, but 3-3, that's not good. You know what I mean? Like if XFL starts putting up lower, point totals, people are going to get disinterested. Like you got to keep those games 20 to 30 points. You can't have too many games under 20 for people to be like, I'm going to go out of my way and watch XFL. Are you? Especially if there's something else on, like basketball or NASCAR or baseball with the world. I mean, it probably ends up 4th in the pecking order. Because I imagine even NBA fans are probably going to go to NBA before they go to XFL, unless it's maybe the 2 undefeated teams playing or something. 34 to go.
I don't think it's going to come down too much because as soon as it clears up, you've got a handful at the wheel with the sliding around all over the track, loose, tight.
I'm telling you, don't look now. It's not quite time yet for this fourth car to start showing up, but he's in that 3rd place. Finally got the track position. Let's see if this round runs speed.
63:55. I would encourage you to turn that on, Sarah. You go to ESPN through your cable provider, just you can watch it on your tablet or your TV or whatever you're doing. But I would watch. Oh, what a layup! I mean, it'll give us more of a gauge as we do March Madness streams and whatnot. But I mean, for me, if Houston, Alabama, or Kansas are playing, I'm turning it on. You know what I mean? Those are probably the only three teams that I'm going to turn on immediately if they're on. If UCLA, Arizona, maybe I'll take a peek, but I'm not going to watch. But, when it comes to those 3 teams, those are the 3 strongest this year. Like, no doubt. Like, it's not even a question. Houston's down by 10, too, with 5:24. Stolen. Uh-oh. Yeet. And 1. Uh-oh. Houston's going to lose. 67-55 with 5:20 left. Oh, my. Memphis is like, take that, take that. That's great for Alabama. Horrible for Houston. But they should both be number 1 seeds. Houston, Bama, Kansas, and then they can decide who else is going to be the one. I'm actually kind of excited for March Madness. I just wish I'd be able to do some of those games in the morning, but the girlfriend will be in here working, so I can't, do games all day. But anything after 4 p.m., we'll be able to do some March Madness games. I'm excited for it. 30 to go.
Speaking of not giving him an inch, check that out. That's as close as it gets. That was Busher 17 doing a slam the door.
Or if you're talking about the best teams in the country, you know what I mean? I mean, if you're going to be winning and Houston's dropping, you know, that's better for you to move up in the rankings. But if Houston loses, this will only be, I think, their third loss all year. So there's a reason why Houston has won.
Was in trouble trying to stay off the 14 on the outside of him, checked up. 17 was there.
28 to go. Yes. Yeah, I just saw him out there. Love me some Penny Hardaway. Yeah, but also, too, Jalen Ramsey isn't as good as Jalen Ramsey was. You know, the corners are changing, you know, as we're going through, you know, A.J. Terrell, and it's like used to be like Jalen Ramsey and these certain guys, but now you got Sauce Gardner and Tariq Woolen, and there you're going to get some newbies coming out of the rookie class this year. But it seems like a lot of the really good corners that were good, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, they're not the same anymore. You know what I mean? A lot of the guys that we were like fearing or that thought they were so good, you know, they're not really as good as they were. I don't think anyone is intimidated of Jalen Ramsey anymore. You know, he gets cooked quite a bit now. So, all right, we got Larson and Byron, 1-2. Let's go, baby. Harvick in third, baby.
Kevin was telling me was rhythm. It's so important for him to find his rhythm, and you hear that a lot.
And Hamlin.
How important is rhythm, and what does rhythm mean for a driver?
This track is such a rhythmic track. You have to find your groove. Both things of this track are completely different. 1 and 2 very wide swinging corners. The thing once you get it from out from underneath of it, you pick the gas up way early in that corner, asking a lot out of it. Very loose. Everybody's been complaining about loose off the two.
Bucks Suns on Tuesday night. That's halfway decent. Warriors Clippers. Magic Suns. Mavericks Lakers. But it all depends on who's healthy or not. Wow, Houston getting worked. 15 points down with 4:30 to go. There's like no hope. They're only shooting 32% too. 10 turnovers, just, you know, lots of offensive rebounds for Houston, but they're going to get beat. Penny Hardaway, that's a huge win for Memphis to beat one of the best teams all year. Yeah, well, in the bracket, there's going to be more than one number one seed. You know, there's number one seed, number one seed, number one seed, number one seed. So there's going to be 4 number one seeds. So like I said, you know, Houston, if they would have won, you know, it's like them, Bama, probably Kansas, and then, you know, but unless they have some other teams that they decide that are going to be higher on the pecking order. I'll have to look at the top 10 and see how it shook out based off, you know, these tournament games and to see what records are. There's probably been some shifting because I know some teams lost. 22 to go. Yeah, Bama should have a number one seed. No question. 100%. They've earned it this year. That's going to be the first time they've got a number one seed in basketball, at least that I can remember. Purdue, you think is going to be the what are the number one seeds, do you think, Sarah, for men's? I mean, obviously, because didn't Kansas lose? Didn't they play and they got beat? So obviously, if you have like Kansas and Houston losing recently, that's not good for them. Still might be good enough to get a 1 seed or a 2 seed, but 70-56 Memphis up on Houston with 3:55 to go. Purdue, Houston, Bama, Kansas. Okay, so Purdue would just be that other team. Purdue over like UCLA, Arizona, and some of those other teams. You think that's the next best team? Yeah, because if there's 4 brackets, then they're gonna, if you got 4 brackets, you're gonna have to have that 1 seed there. So essentially, if you're in the top 5 in the rankings, right, 4 out of those 5 teams are going to be number 1 seeds. That's how it works. So yeah, seriously, like who would have thought, like going into this year, if you didn't watch college hoops and then you're filling out a bracket and you see Alabama men's and like as a 1, you're like, what? But that's why we watch sports. So that way, we don't get left behind. And I know some people are going to look at the bracket and they're going to be like, where's Duke and North Carolina? Well, this isn't the same kind of year anymore. Like some of these coaches have retired, with Coach K, and the Kentuckys and the Dukes and the North Carolina do not dominate college hoops anymore, unfortunately. So, but that's also good for new teams. Great for Kansas, and now great for Houston and Bama and these other teams. Gonzaga is probably thinking this is a year too late, because if they could play the teams that are playing this year, then maybe they could have, win it all this year. But it seems like Gonzaga is like CP3. They always choke, in the big moments. It's like, I can get to the championship game. We can get to the Final Four. We can get to the Elite 8, but never, ever, ever Gonzaga is good enough to win it all. That's probably pretty frustrating for them, CP3 as well. But, that's what happens when you hook up with Kim Kardashian. You got the Kardashian curse, that's forever. 16 to go in stage 2. Yeah, I would say that Alabama's got a 100% chance of being number 1 seed. 100%. Now, if it was just like, less teams and it's just 1 through 16, but when you have 1 through 16 on the left bracket, 1 through 16 on the bottom left bracket, 1 through 16 on the top right, 1 through 16 on the bottom right, it's not going to be, there's no way in hell that they can even be a 2 seed. They're way too good. Barry's in 15th, not bad. I don't like that car though. That doesn't give me Napa know-how. Doesn't give me those vibes. I mean, come on, dude. Know what works for you. These damn sponsors. So you're taking away from the greatness of this car. Keep it like this.
Catch him a little bit here. That could be what he's doing, but he also could just be looking for where the car rotates. You see, he goes
13 to go.
Shallow, lets it have its head.
All right, this Memphis Houston one is a donezo. Bye-bye. That one's done.
Let's see how William Byron went in on the outside and kind of back across, down in the corner off Harvick did the opposite. He went in shallow.
52-41 Purdue. Who's Purdue's best player? Sarah, have you watched Purdue games at all this year? I have not watched any Purdue college basketball men's yet, but I probably should. I mean, they're 28-5 and they're 5th in the nation, so that's on me for not watching them yet. Yes, he is. Larson and Byron, he's right there, 2 seconds behind. Larson, 1 second behind, less than half a second behind Byron. Come on, baby.
I think that's going to be his opportunity to see if they have trouble in that lap traffic. Maybe that 4 car can take advantage of this long run speed. Ricky Stenhouse, the Thomas Fritz cam, giving us quite a battle with Austin Cindric and Corey LaJoy. They've been going at each other pretty hard. All 3 of them 1 lap down. Alex Bowman, Chris Buescher with the
10 to go.
The apron to shorten up the front straightaway. He's a little bit around into 1. Can't complete the pass right there.
28 currently, 21.7. Ooh, nice. I have to do some research, before we get into the tournament. Oh. Wow, good save. Thanks for the info. I appreciate it. All right, 9 to go. Larson, Byron, Harvick, Big Bad Brad, Reddick in 5th. Let's go. Are you kidding me?
Running in the top 10 after restarting 12. This is our driver's eye cam.
8 to go. I'll step outside once we get done with stage 2. And then by the time we get back to stage 3, I'll be back in here. 3 minutes to play. Milla. 11-3 Battlehawks. Coco. 7 to go. Larson, Byron, Harvick, Big Bad Brad, Reddick. Six to go.
Have a crew chief, Mike, boy, he was a smart guy. I don't know, probably had a smart up behind the wheel too. He always used to just reach up there on the dash, the third one over to grip switch. Well, he said that. Tough. That was the goal. All these drivers wanted to put it back in their hands. They wanted these cars to be down on grip. I think this sun being down on this racetrack.
4 to go.
Only 80 outside. You wouldn't think that that's this massive, heat down on a racetrack. It's going to be hotter when you get to the summer months. But I like what I see here. This is exactly what the drivers were asking for.
Boy, Kyle Larson likes it. He's now led over 100 laps. And the last 5 times,
I like Harvick's car. I don't know what it is about the green, but I like it.
Hey, look at last weekend. Never catch a chicken till the hatch.
Harrison Burton going 2 laps down with the race.
I don't think anyone hates Kyle Busch, bro. There's going to be haters out there, but I don't think anybody in the room or anybody a part of the Fanatics really hates him. If anything, we like guys that have a little bit of edge. I don't mind the passionate people, Where we got Kyle at? Where is he sitting? 19th. Come on, Kyle. I mean, I'd rather have Kyle win than Joey Logano. If we're talking about the top guys and whatnot. I mean, I'm always going to be Chase 1. So, and I don't mind Larson. I don't mind Ross. I don't mind Kyle. I respect Joey. He's great, but he's not like my favorite. You know what I mean? But he's a damn good driver. All right, final lap.
And that's what he said before the race started. Said, I think we have a good long run car. So he's right.
Tells me they have a good balance on the race car.
Yeah, I mean they brought a lot to NASCAR. You know what I mean? And Kurt, had an edge to him as well, but he never was as talented as Kyle. And I mean, like I said, sometimes as you get older, and then you have your favorites and there's rivalries and whatnot, but then you start to respect like the greatness of the driver. And I think more and more people that hated Kyle and Kurt maybe early on, now since Kurt is gone, you don't get to see him anymore and we miss him, and then now Kyle is showing that I can go from one team to another and I can still dominate. And I don't know. I know if I was going against Kyle, I wouldn't want to line up, like you already know, unless you're someone like this, right? Or this, or this, it's like, it's going to be very competitive. So, all right, I'm going to go, take a look on Paisley, go grab something to drink here, step outside for a second. And then once we get stage 3 to come back, I'll be ready to go. And let's throw up a little Kyle Busch love for my boy. I got you. And I'll be back here in just a few minutes.
produce to meet your expectations, which is why we do up to a 27-point inspection.
Yes, FS1.
Because when it comes to fresh, higher standards mean fresher produce.
Or no, Fox, regular Fox. Yeah, Fox 12 or whatever your cable is. Yes. All right, I'm going to go step outside here real quick, and we will be back.
Our health grants provide critical support to Oregonians experiencing mental health crises.
And so when you play at Spirit Mountain Casino, you join our circle of giving. We are the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde, and we say Haimasi.
It's only worth it if you enjoy it. The Globe Ultra.
Save now at Key Home Furnishings' huge Flex Steel Gallery sale. Sofas, sectionals, power reclining, bedroom, and more all reduced. And get 4 years 0% APR financing on qualified purchases. Don't miss this amazing Flex Steel sale. Shop at Key Home today.
When your door is always open, so is the fridge. At Fred Meyer, however you shop, in-store, pickup, or delivery, you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards. That's a win-win-win. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
I'm Andy Carson. Start your mornings with me and First Alert Weather on Good Day Oregon. I need to try it first.
Today's aerial coverage is provided by Goodyear, powering every mile and every moment on NASCAR's road to victory. Goodyear, more driven. There's your top 10 at the end of stage 2. Looks like also the drivers that took the wave around on the last caution did pretty well. There are the stage points earned today. William Byron, Kyle Larson split the stages, and each ended up 1 point short of maximum. Next week, Atlanta. That 1.5-mile track got woke up with the repave and the high banks, and now it races like a super speedway. So when we head there next Sunday, race day will begin at 1:30 Eastern on FS1 and move over to Fox at 2 o'clock. Green flag 3 p.m. on Fox from Atlanta.
That place is already fast.
And it got faster. In fact, and they have changed the pit entry at Atlanta. They're going to put the commit box at the entrance of turn 3, because if you try to stop up in turn 4 and get on pit road at the speeds they're running now,
Chaos.
yeah.
Not only are they their speeds through the roof, they're 3 wide and coming to that pressing situation. But I agree, Mike. We were sold on something that kind of thought of it. We went there, and holy cow, what a big change in Atlanta. Wild race.
Big full weekend of racing, tickets available, so come on down and join us in the Peach State. Austin Dillon, I believe, gets the free pass on this caution flag, which officially is the third of the day. And pits will be open this time. Larson and Byron have been all but identical on pit road today. And whoever gets out first is whoever's going to lead that next group of green flag racing, it appears.
Yeah, here, William Byron, I need to get on the bumper of that car. Harrison Burton's up there in between them, trying to maximize coming on the pit road, maximize your speed. You obviously can't push it any harder than what's there, but you see, trying to get to the bumper at him, everything you can do. Jamie?
William Byron in the 24. Remember the last 2 pit stops in a row, his pit crew had slight hiccups. We'll see if they can nail it here. That's how they were last week. Very good all the way through. He's saying he needs a little bit of better turn in Dernier, especially. They're going to double up that last adjustment, a bigger wedge adjustment here in 4 tires. Kevin Harvick in the 4 just loose. He said he just fired off loose there. They're going to tighten him up. You saw that chassis adjustment there, 4 tires.
Brad Keselowski on this run lost short run speed, but he gained long run speed. Wanted to make a note of that for later in the race if it's a short run. The 5 of Kyle Larson just a little bit tighter for the first 3 or 4 laps of that run. Otherwise, it has been spot on for him.
Going to be close. Here's your race off pit road, sponsored by Ram. Look at the rest. Larson, Byron, And Harvick almost put Byron out into the outside wall of pit lane. That was close. Kevin Harvick, with this stop and this drive off, picks up a spot, but look how close it was there.
Around this epic track. But we've never stopped moving forward. Here we go in the next 75. We're all better off with an Allen.
That rocking chair would look great in our new house.
No, a new house, eh? Well, you should definitely see how Geico could help you save on homeowners insurance.
Nice tip. I'll give you $2 for the chair.
2? That's a Victorian antique.
All right. How much for the recliner then?
Wait, how did that get out here? That is definitely not for sale.
Is this a yard sale?
If it's in the yard, then it's for sale.
Here we go.
Geico. It's easy to switch and save on homeowners and renters insurance.
Holding a vet, what a pain in the... Hey, neighbor! Try T-Mobile, it sets up so fast.
It's like Wi-Fi that runs on a G.
Home internet from T-Mobile, wait till you see. Tell me more, one cord's all that you need. Tell me more,
Don't you worry about speed.
I need to try it first.
Looks like you got a corner office. Lucky.
All right, I'm back.
They brought something greater. The stars and stripes are flying out. It's the USA takes on the biggest bet. United States, 50th Eastern on FS1.
Back here in the Race Day studios, it has been a Hendrick Motorsports show so far out in Phoenix. Of course, Kyle Larson, William Byron, leading the majority of the laps, sweeping the stages. Hi, everyone. I'm Shannon Spake. He's a Daytona 500 champ. Jamie McMurray. We just talked about Hendrick Motorsports last week. They were so good. Again, good this week. But don't look now because we've got a new player in the game.
Yeah, same two cars with different rules at a different racetrack. But I've got mine on Kevin Harvick. He started back in 15th. He's worked his way up to second now. You can't count him out. He is the closer, but I wouldn't say he's the spoiler today.
He's the spoiler. He's also Mr. Phoenix with those 9 victories, Mike Joy.
Thanks, Shannon. Kevin Harvick had a pit stop of 10.009 seconds, including a chassis adjustment. That might be getting.
All right, I'm back.
That 5 car having a #1 stall. How do you beat that?
Like Kevin Harvick did. Hey, and he was aggressive. He crowded at William Byron, took that position over.
Who?
They barely beat William Byron to 24 bunch out, but I'm telling you, he was aggressive on pit road. That's what it takes. I want to see if his car will take off. You know, we keep talking about that long run speed that he has, and I'm talking about Kevin Harvick. I want to see if he's able to take off with these Hendrick cars and the speed that they have, the raw speed up front.
Chevy Ford front row, Larson and Harvick. Chevy Ford second row, Byron and Keselowski. An all Toyota third row with Reddick and Bell. Then Blaney, Hamlin, Chastain, and Briscoe the top 10 as they
All right, baby.
restart zone for stage 3.
194 laps in of 312. Geico restart zone. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go race that, boys. Nice jump off there by Harvick. 5 wide. Wow. 6 wide. Wow. Seriously. See, we got to wait for the dust to settle a little bit here. Fuck yeah. 4 wide, 5 wide racing. Fuck out of here on a short track. Larson, Harvick, Byron, Keselowski, Bell round out your top 5. Hamlin, Reddick, Briscoe, Blaney, and Bowman in your top 10. Come on, Ross. Ross is in 11th. Daniel Suarez right next to him in 12th. Where's Kyle Busch? Kyle Busch is in 19th. Come on, Kyle. Let's do it for Mike. Joey Logano's in 15th. So we got some of the heavy hitters kind of in the middle of the pack. Still a long ways to go before this is over.
Doesn't look like it's over for Josh Berry to have to be in the thick of it here.
Doesn't look like it's over for that Joey Logano either. It wasn't too long ago. He was a lot down. Coming back on that, man, unbelievable turnaround for him. Got some adjustments. You know he's going to be aggressive behind the wheel. He's doing everything he can do.
They won? Okay. Well, they should have, right? They're 5th ranked. You don't want to lose, the tournament, game at the end if you are clearly the best team in the conference. The worst thing that can happen is you can be like, Houston losing to Memphis. I mean, that's not what you want. We're more than halfway through. It's been a pretty clean race. Most of the races this year have been pretty clean besides Daytona, the second half of Daytona. But I mean, overall in these first 4 races, it's been much cleaner than not as many cautions than is expected, not as many wrecks, but we still have the back end of the race. And usually that's where a majority of the craziness happens. All right, Reddick, I see you. Reddick in 7th. Great. Get a top 10 finish for that team. That would be big. Not my personal favorite, but I don't like rooting for people that just keep continuing to be shitty when they're better than that. Something's got to give. He's too good of a driver just to continuously be in the 30s. Eventually, you got to snap out of that bad luck and then have a good run. And that's what we're getting today. Good for him. 7th place right now for Tyler Reddick. Come on, Ross. Ross in 10th. Let's get Kyle up there, too. Kyle's in 16th. Let's get you up to 10th, buddy. Let's go. Houston goes down. Come on, Kyle. There he is. You talk about him, then they'll show him. Let's go. Come on, baby. Highest was 3rd. Lowest is 24th. Bubba. Lap 204 of 312. It's like every time we get to this kind of more than the halfway point, then I start getting a little sad. Then I'm like, fuck, I got to wait till next Sunday to watch this again. We better have some excitement here at the end of this race. Once a week isn't enough for me. I think when I love something as much as I do, it's like I got to get it a few times throughout the week. I guess if I start watching trucks or Xfinity on a regular basis, that'll help. Joey Logano up +10. Kyle Busch +6, baby. Movers and shakers.
Chastain, they're fighting for 12th. Chastain, the point leader, top 3 in both Phoenix races last year.
Yeah, not the restart that he wanted. We saw it right there.
Come on, Ross.
Sliding around the one up in front of everybody, created a 4-wide scenario, and he's still sliding back. Flip side of that is that 22 Logano. He's coming.
Yeah, as we look at the leaders, we're looking at Kyle Larson.
Nets are beating the Nuggets. The Nuggets.
And what I'm seeing is that there's the gap is.
Well, didn't the Spurs beat the Nuggets?
Moving around now. William Byron's still running the bottom, but Kevin's moved up top in 3 and 4, and it looks like he's probably trying to find something. Obviously, we've seen Hendrick be so strong all day.
You're like, Spurs, baby. Spurs, baby. Larson, Harvick, Byron, Keselowski, Bell. Yes.
When you see Wendy's Square Hamburger, you know you're getting the best. That's why Reggie Miller is celebrating our every move.
Boom, baby! There's the beef! You ain't getting this next door. Reggie says celebrating Wendy's hamburgers is a team effort. Look at that. And he's right.
Hey, Jay McCarron. Yeah, maybe I'll click over to that since I can watch something at the same time. 1 sec here. All right, what do we got for options for other things? We got Wizards and Sixers, Cavs and Hornets, Brooklyn Nets and the Nuggets, and then XFL. Might as well tap into this XFL. I mean, I am doing it this year on the channel. Might as well. If I'm just doing this, I can always keep my eyes on this too. All right, 17-3. Well, uniforms alone, St. Louis should win, so. See, that's good, right? That makes you feel good being kind of like a mid to lower team, you know, anytime you can beat the best team in the West. Was that the game where the Joker had the triple-double and it's the first time they've lost this season when he's got a triple-double? Was it that game? 17-3 in the XFL. St. Louis Battlehawks over Arlington. Race has been good. I would like to see a few more wrecks and whatnot, but I imagine we'll get them as we get to the last 75 laps.
Bring my dogs here. When you need parts, eBay Motors ensures a guaranteed fit. Say you'll need headlights and the bumper.
Nice attendance record. Nice.
Skip the car wash. Just go to eBay Motors to check these a guaranteed fit. That's right.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of the Russell Gage thing. I would have just rather cut him, you know, off the team. He's not good enough to be on the Buccaneers. Like, from what I saw, it did pretty good with Atlanta, but I would rather cut the guy than pay him money. There's just certain guys on the team that is just not a good fit, especially if you just recently came over. I would rather dump a player like that, but we'll see what happens. I've already had my Super Bowl run, so now it's just a bunch of misery. So, if Baker Mayfield or some of these other trash quarterbacks comes into my organization, well, maybe they're bringing them in to tank. They're not bringing them in to win. If we bring in Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask, competing for the starting job, and Baker wins, then we're trying to win 3 games a year. So if that's how we get the first pick and I end up getting Caleb Williams or Drake May, then so be it. Bring on Baker. If that's what it takes for me to get the first or second pick in the draft next year, so that way I can get my franchise QB, I don't give a fuck who we have. You can have fucking Uncle Rico at quarterback. I don't give no fucks. Okay? We already know Uncle Rico can throw over a mountain. So 17-3 St. Louis. We got some baseball later on tonight as well as some basketball. I was going to look at, where was I looking? Oh, I was going to look here. I wanted to see what NBA games they have slated today. That's what happens when you get invested in a sport that normally you're not invested in. Now I have to kind of pay attention to everything that's going on. I have to find little W's, little wins in my day for something that, it doesn't come as natural, as far as the love for like NASCAR or baseball or wrestling or football. But, I'm trying, and I'm trying to get into it, and I am. I mean, I haven't had too many bad games. Nets are up 121-119 over the Nuggets with 40 seconds left. Hornets up 44-39, 6:35 left in the second. And then later we have Wizards, Sixers, Blazers, Pelicans, Blazers, Thunder, Spurs. Who knows? Could go either way. Probably Thunder would be favored, even though they're on the road. And then we have Knicks, Lakers, which should be a pretty good one. I would assume the Lakers will win that game, but the Knicks will fight like they did in the last game that we did with the Knicks and the Kings. So, yeah, and if it wasn't for WBC, we would be doing Knicks Lakers tonight. But Team USA, Team Mexico, that's a little bit higher important level for me. So, and I like baseball and NASCAR more than basketball. So it's crazy too, because basketball used to be my number one when I was a kid. But again, that was like in the basketball card era, 80s, 90s. Jordan, Bird, Magic, Drexler, Barkley, Malone, Robinson, Ewing, on and on and on, Mullen. I can keep going on and on. And then obviously Iverson, Kobe, Shaq in the next tier in the 90s. And then it's not the same anymore. Like, I still try to enjoy it, but I mean, football is much better. Wrestling is better. NASCAR is better to me. Baseball is better. And I'm not into hockey. Otherwise, hockey would probably be better than NBA for me too. But again, it all depends on if you have a connection, and how much you love what you're seeing. Yeah, I mean, if they want to be able to be bad, let's bring in all these guys. Brissett, I actually like Jacoby Brissett, but Baker, whatever names you want to throw in there. But if we're going to be bad, we can be bad with Kyle Trask, right? So if we're going to be bad, why bring someone in? Just let him try to do it. And so that nobody can say, oh, we didn't give him a shot. Just give him a shot. You drafted him. He's been sitting under Brady. We're going to be bad. Let him get in there and be bad. And then we can get Caleb and Drake May. And then I'm good, And then if for whatever reason he does good and we win 10 games and go to a wild card, then so be it. But I still want my franchise QB before I die. I don't want to go my whole life with winning, 2 Super Bowls, which I'm very blessed. 2 Super Bowls, 2 wins. I may never go to one ever again in my entire life, but if I can get at least one franchise QB that I can root for 10 years in a row, that's kind of a dream of mine, if I can actually get that. Even if it doesn't lead to a lot of NFC Championship game or Super Bowls, but if I can get a guy that I can get behind, just root for and get behind and just, maybe even consider buying the jersey, which would be crazy for me to buy a jersey of a quarterback for the Bucs, but I mean, why buy a jersey when I can rock Josh Freeman jersey? That's when the person's hardcore. Yeah, you got a Tom Brady jersey? Yeah, what's new? I got fucking Josh Freeman jersey. Come back to me. And not only Josh Freeman, it's a sewn jersey. I don't know if that makes it better or worse, but I wasn't going to burn it or throw it away. I wanted to remember the pain of what it felt like to be good and felt like to be shitty. 89 to go. Not everything's going to be peaches and cream. Sometimes you're going to go through an era of really bad football or whatever it is. I mean, I didn't assume it would be 10, 11 years in a row. That was really a rough part of my life. But, at least that, we won the Super Bowl against the Raiders, right? With Gruden, Alstott, Simeon Rice, Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, John Lynch, Rondé Barber, A-Train. You already know what it is. And then to get the one against the Chiefs, that was pretty special too. But you just never know. I didn't expect to get Brady or Gronk or AB. I mean, that was just weird. Even to this day, it just didn't even seem like it happened. Like that happened. You know what I mean? Like after he was just there at New England, and it's crazy that they chose Tampa, to do it. But I mean, we did have a lot of the pieces in place. We were just needing a couple more, and we got the right couple more, and we made it happen. Last year was a real big disappointment, but the year before when we got hurt, I think we might have not been able to win, but we would have been able to have a very strong chance to get past the Rams and win the Super Bowl again. But, when you have injuries, AB walks out on you, and then fucking Wirfs and Jensen, your two best O-linemen, get hurt, you have 0% chance beating Aaron Donald at that point. It sucked. And we were down 27-3 and only lost like 30-27. You give us 5 more minutes in that game, who knows what would have happened, but it is what it is. They got their championship. Good for Stafford, good for Cooper Kupp. Good for McVay. I got the one year before. And just like Chiefs fans, when they won against the Niners, they thought they were going to beat the shit out of the Buccaneers, but it didn't happen. It's very hard to win back-to-back. But I don't want any quarterbacks coming in. I really don't. I mean, if we just want to suck it collectively as a group, but pretty much Tampa Bay Buccaneer football is done. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to be excited about the team at all until a couple of years from now, until we, make it better. But am I going to still watch the games? Yes. But it's, you already know if your team is going to be competitive or not, and they're going to be fucking terrible. I'm going to the NASCAR website. I like doing the ESPN, but I like being on the NASCAR official NASCAR website when we're doing, especially when they go to commercials and whatnot. Walltown in the building. What to do? Oh yeah, there's no excuses, man. You should be the best thing, there in the South for the next couple years. Yeah, there'll be some improvements with the Bucks and the Panthers and the Falcons, but it just based off roster and where it looks, we don't really know how good Dennis Allen's going to be at head coach, but based on what happened last year with the injuries and everything, and we don't know about Michael Thomas or AK-41 based off jail time or health. But even with that being said, with some question marks, still you got the best team in the NFC South. So you guys should be able to rip it, sling it and fling it. But once I get my quarterback, then it's going to be on. Once I get my quarterback like 2 years from now, if I get a Drake May or a Caleb Williams, then it'll be on. And then it won't be a cakewalk for the Saints anymore. And maybe in 2 or 3 years, the Panthers and Falcons will catch up too. So, but those two teams have a lot of holes. We have a few, not as many as those two teams. And the Saints, I think, have the fewest. It's like they have more question marks of guys that are on the roster than that aren't. It's like you got capable bodies, but AK-41 with the court, we have to see if he's going to go to jail or if it's going to be like a plea bargain. And then with Michael Thomas, we knew he was one of the best wide receivers in the NFL a couple years ago. But within the last few years, he's only played a handful of games in the last couple years. So we don't even know if he can play anymore. Talent-wise, we know he could be a top 10 talent. But after a year passes, after an injury in 2 and then 3, then people start giving you the bust kind of label, or like, maybe you're brittle or you're broken. Like, you're never going to be able to be the player you were that 1 year. And you don't have Drew Brees anymore. So realistically, you have to understand Drew Brees made a lot of Michael Thomas that year. If you have someone else, it's not going to be the same production because Jameis can't throw like Drew. But Carr is closer to anything that you've had since Drew. So there could be some big numbers there, but we just have to see if he can stay healthy. I'm rooting for Carr to stay healthy for you guys. Somebody's got to be good out of the NFC South. I mean, if it ends up being my number one rival, well, so be it. But once I get our QB, once we get our QB and a couple pieces figured out, then I think we'll be back to hopefully being a 9, 10 win, 11 win team, but we're not going to be there for a while. Oh yeah, Carr and Olave, and then if you draft another one, a replacement for Michael Thomas just in case, and you get another one, then we're in business. I would like to see a better quality tight end, a couple more receivers that are bigger names, and some more depth at the running back, O-line, and defense secondary. But there's many pieces that Cameron Jordan, Lattimore, Demario Davis, you got plenty of guys that I love on the team. So Ryan Ramczyk, you got plenty of pieces. So by default, Saints fans that are typically, they don't really know what's going to happen, very passionate, and also can be petty, right? But we also know that this is the team. The Saints are going to be the best in that division, maybe for a year, maybe for 2, maybe for 3. I mean, who knows? I mean, as long as Carr is there and putting up good numbers and the supporting cast is doing their job, it's by default, you guys will be the best team for a while. But Buccaneers, we'll catch up. Just got to figure out the QB and a few other positions. And I want Levante David back, but I know it could be a cap casualty, but I don't want to see a guy on my team for 7, 8, 9, 10 years and then all of a sudden bye. Like, I know he's getting older, but he's still productive. So I want him to retire a buck, but that probably won't happen. I mean, especially linebacker being my favorite position. I don't like seeing guys leave, and thank God Derek Brooks didn't leave. Lynch left at safety, Sapp left at D tackle, but that's why I want like Levante and Devin White to retire a buck if possible. Fuck no, dude. Would you want Baker Mayfield for your quarterback? I mean, if we're trying to tank and get the first pick in the draft, you bring in Baker. You don't bring in Baker because you think you're going to win games. Come on, bro. Would you think the Saints would be excited if they decided to sign Baker over Carr? How do you think the fan base would react? Half the fans would quit watching. They'd be like, fuck that. We're going to watch the Pelicans. You can't even get Zion on the goddamn court either. Yeah, but no one believes in Baker. I mean, he had a little stint there with the Rams with the supporting cast and everyone being hurt. But, I mean, you bring Baker in if you want to be bad. You don't bring Baker in to revitalize your franchise. He's had plenty of times to be able to show that he could do it. And he just, he's like Marcus Mariota. You can be great in college, but you maxed out. You're not going to get any better. Everyone in the league is better than you. The offensive linemen, the defensive players, your arm isn't as strong as it was in college. Everyone is better. So, some people get better and some people don't, and it also depends on how hard you work. And Baker doesn't really come across as a guy that wants to work hard. Everyone has a different type of work ethic, but, one thing is talking the talk, but are you really willing to put in the work? Everyone can say, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but are you? There's always going to be someone out there that's willing to work harder than the other person. 71 laps to go. Yes, but I'm very excited. I'm a Buck fan, and I'm excited for you guys. Alabama, boom. We knew it. We knew that in the South region. Yeah, keep me posted on all that info. 70 to go. Larson, Harvick, Bell, Byron, Reddick.
Separates yourself quite a bit out there. Put that pressure on them and say, I don't know if I'm comfortable coming this next lap. Maybe 2 or 3, 4, 5 more laps. Then you separate.
Larson, Harvick, Christopher Bell, William Byron, and Tyler Reddick in fifth. Nice. 69 to go.
Taking advantage of this. See, put these 4 fresh tires on. Make an impact. Catch that. Narrow that gap. Tyler Reddick is on pit road, and so is Brad Keselowski. And more tinkers as well.
All right, some people going down pit road.
I think are going to start drawing those guys down pit road. You start taking somebody in 4th, 5th place, Keselowski, a Reddick, put pressure on the guys leading this race. Regan.
Tyler Reddick into 45. That car's loose into turns 1 and 3 right now for him. He came and mentioned a brake shake a few laps ago. That's something to keep an eye out for him. And the 6th of Brad Keselowski. His car, the further they get, the better that race car has been getting for him.
Now, Kyle Larson stays out. Corey LaJoy on fresh tires just past the race leader. Here's Byron and Jamie.
Byron said he needs to tighten up his car. They've been adjusting on it.
Come on, Byron.
They worked the left side 4 tires here for the 24. Kevin Harvick's putting right in front of the 24 as he makes his way down pit road. Just 2 free once he tightened that car up. He's more rear grip on the Ford, Kevin Harvick.
And the leader, Larson, is in. Christopher Bell completes his stop. William Byron out.
All right, 67 to go. This is where like the race starts. It's been pretty clean overall. I'm not really sure if this one feels like there's going to be a lot of wrecks, though. It might end up being pretty green flag. and just, jockeying for position and whatnot. But you can definitely tell, who's been strong today. Harvick's been strong. Larson's been strong. William Byron's been strong. Reddick has been strong today. Good for him.
Almost worked for Kevin Harvick in the 4-car. So close to beating that 5 to that point position. By pitting a lap ahead of Larson, Harvick was 1.2 seconds back, and now he's on Larson's bumper. Man, that was close. One more lap. That would have been the difference. Daniel Suarez too fast entering on that big sequence. I'll tell you what, it's still a long ways to the house here, Larry. I think this long run, if Kevin, a lot of traffic in front of them guys, if he can utilize that long run speed, you see him slip and slide around, got on the apron a little bit, he's going to lose some time there. But if he can capitalize on some long run speed with the traffic they have and 64 laps to go, that might help him.
Where's Kyle Busch at? 15th? Come on, baby.
So Eric Jones is the race leader. He's the only driver who has not stopped among those on the lead lap. And here's a look at Larson's stop. Larry, you're going to see they're just
Arizona number 2 in the South.
See, the right front tire changer is already around, and the right rear just was finishing.
They might have to match up against each other at some point.
Yeah, I was going to say that looked like quite a bit. Almost the difference maker. So close. Harvick stopped 11.1 seconds. Larson stopped 12.6.
63 to go.
Talking about it, Mike, how big of a deal pit road is, but pit crews as well. And, we track back to Larson winning the championship. He gives credit to his pit crew. We talked about last weekend getting off of pit road with William Byron, helping him win the race. Pit crew is critical, especially in these last stops.
Damn right it is.
And there's the difference. Drive time and stop time. So Eric Jones hoping for a caution as he leads Kyle Larson, Kevin Harvick, Christopher Bell, and William Byron.
All right, 61 to go, baby.
But for a young homeowner becoming their parents, it's a learning opportunity. Come on in. The more the merrier. Prepare yourself.
Yeah, it's cool to be able to see something that you normally wouldn't think that is possible, for sure.
It is not easy. 10th floor, huh? Must be a heck of a view. Okay, see how everyone else is facing this way?
Progressive can save you from becoming your parents, but we can't save you money.
Okay, that was terrible. Okay, let's hang back. We're going to try that again.
Gillette presents the Gillette Labs Exfoliating Bar. The bar and the handle removes unseen dirt and debris that gets in the way of the blades for effortless shaving in one efficient stroke. All with a lifetime warranty. And if you want to keep the beard, use King C Gillette, a lineup of products designed to cleanse, soften, trim, and style for your best beard.
All right, 59 to go. Jones, Larson, Harvick, Bell, and Byron. We're just kind of going off from the commercial break. This will be kind of like the last run. Yeah, no worries. I mean, when you have stuff like that that comes about, anything sport related is interesting. I mean, if you're a fanatic, everything is interesting. You're always trying to get in on everything that's going on at the moment. So I don't blame you. Hell, I watch 4 or 5 things at once most of the time. So.
I can't believe this is how you kids talk to your friends. This is talking. Did you have a nice day? Look at the size of these butterfly shrimp. Ginormous. Butterfly shrimp? What? Now she's talking.
That was a funny commercial. SmackDown. All right, 56 to go. Been a pretty clean race.
56 laps to go in the desert. Eric Jones in the 43 is the race leader. Now, he was last on pit road at lap 190. 56 laps ago. He has 4 Phoenix top 10s.
Jones, Larson, Harvick, Bell, Byron, Reddick, Big Bad Brad, Blaney, Briscoe, Hamlin round out your top 10. Ross in 11th. Kyle Busch in 15th. Come on, Kyle. And he's right next to Joey, his best friend. That probably won't last long. Kyle and Joey being right next to each other at 15 and 16. Truex in 19th.
Speed, but the longer they run under green, the better Harvick's chances.
And stickers are awesome. That's another reason. Kyle came rolling out with tires.
He's trying everything he can do. Kevin is all over this racetrack, trying to find that grip, trying to find a line around that 5 car.
Eric Jones was 22nd when this green flag pit stop cycle started. We'll see where he comes out after he makes his stop. Last time Kevin Harvick did not finish a race at Phoenix in the top 10. Here's what else was happening. That was 2013. Austin Cindric was a 14-year-old racing Legends cars. Ron Exon was 14. Harrison Burton was 12, but winning. Ty Gibbs was 10.
That's impressive.
The kid who won the ARCA race, or the ARCA West.
Yeah, even with that Houston loss, they haven't lost many games this season, so you already knew they were an automatic one.
That's an incredible run for 10 years.
9 wins, most laps led all time, and the longest all-time streak of consecutive top 10 finishes at one.
Oh, that's kind of good.
Incredible. And as Larry points out,
51 to go.
Dare I say it, has never failed to finish a race here.
Honestly, I heard him tell you that in the ear. I was like, I'm not saying it. I jinx people all the time. There's no chance I am going to say that.
Larry, is that why you told me that on my IFB and not on the air?
Exactly.
Well, thank you to be the jinx.
But 40 career starts here, running at the finish of every single one. That number in itself blows my mind.
Well, pardon me, but I'll thank you later.
Larson, Harvick, Jones, Bell, Byron, your top 5. Reddick, Big Bad Brad, Blaney, Briscoe, Hamlin round out your top 10. 50 to go. Chase, come back.
But you got to take a gamble. Got to try something. You know, give yourself the opportunity to have better tires later in the race in case there's a caution. It's worth a shot.
Sure, if you weren't going to win it doing what everybody else does, do something different.
Well, hey, he's still holding in there. I mean, his lap times are way off, but he is third. You know, he could probably go another maybe 20 laps or so. Anything can happen. That caution comes out, that'll be the savior of the day.
And everybody has plenty of tires left. They started this race with 9 sets, including the qualifying set that was on the cars. So, a lot of options. So John's now third, about 1 second ahead of Christopher Bell in fourth, and a second and a half ahead of William Byron in fifth.
Waiting for that wreck. 47 to go. Pretty good spacing in between most of these cars right now, too, though.
The other thing you have to do is make sure you're not cautioned. You need a caution to come out, make sure you're not in.
You do, but I'm curious, Larry Mack, how far can Eric Jones go on this run?
Yeah, Danica, he last pitted at lap 190, but the way the pace is slowed down, he can probably go another 15, maybe close to 20 laps. But this strategy, what makes this work for him right now, if the caution comes out, everybody that even made those green flag pit stops, everybody's coming to pit road getting 4 more tires. They do need a caution right here, though.
Sure, well, right, Larry. Everybody else has 20 green flag laps on their tires, so they don't come as Christopher Bell.
46 to go.
Jones for third. Harvick, as we get longer into this run, he is nestling right up to the bumper of Kyle Larson. We're going to have a race on our hands here.
4th, Indiana in the Midwest. Iowa State 6th. Crank it up. It's the best part. $1.99. Panthers fan. First pick in the draft. You might keep it. You might not. CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, someone else? We don't know. We'll find out. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $2 holla. Appreciate you. Let me know what you want to see for a photo, and I got you. Could be a Panther player. Could be someone like a CJ or Bryce. If you have one that you like more than the other, let me know what you want to see, and I got you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. $2 holla, Panthers fan. All our teams are going to suck in the division, but at least hopefully the Falcons and the Panthers and Bucks can get closer to the Saints after they got Carr. Harvick. Steve Smith, I got you. Harvick is like, I'm winning this shit. And once Harvick is in front, he don't give it up. I mean, especially at this track. Man. If Kyle gets second place again, he's going to lose it. He's like, Chase isn't even around and I can't win. Fuck. He said, I got this, bitch.
Turned upside down. 40 to go, folks.
39 to go. Oh, that's brutal for Larson and Byron if Harvick ends up just being the top dog in front the rest of the way. But that's racing. And Harvick is the best at this track.
I like this team. Be part of something greater. Toyota. Let's go places.
Dude, what are you doing? I'm protecting my car. That's too much work. WeatherTech is so much easier. Laser measured floor liners up here, seat protector and cargo liner back there. Nice. Out here, side window deflectors and mud flaps and the bump step to keep the bumper dent free. Cool. It's the best protection for your vehicle, new or pre-owned. Great. But where do I order? WeatherTech.com.
America's falling in love with these four farmers.
This really hit me. It's a hard life. This is real.
So are these city women.
The man in a belt buckle and cowboy hat is so sexy.
Wednesday, farmer wants a wife, heads to the farms.
What do we think of Oklahoma? They look very abandoned.
Things get real.
She's got me messed up.
So decisions must be made.
I reckon it's that time. This is not fun for me. It's not easy for me.
Harvick, he's like, I got him.
All new Wednesday on Fox.
The eagle has landed. That's one small step for man.
Hey, what's up?
Well, Kentucky's no longer good, so Drake, the artist himself, will make bets. We'll see where he goes. 35 to go. And so watch out for Drake in the tourney. Yeah, Drake in the tourney is kind of like Butler and some of the smaller ones. Like, you never know where you're going to get that magical moment from a team that makes it to the Sweet 16 or Elite 8 when they have no business being there, but they just get hot at the right time. 34 to go. Harvick, Larson, Bell, Byron, and Reddick. Kyle, if Kyle gets second place again, it's like you can taste it. He knows that he's on the cusp, and he needs to take advantage when Chase is not racing. But we already know this is the best of the best in Phoenix, and he might stack another win here. This is his farewell tour. So if he's going to win in his farewell tour, he knows he needs to win, in Phoenix, and he knows he can do that. Well, that's what you would assume he would do. Wherever he's the strongest, he's probably going to give it everything he's got. He's not coming back next year. Yeah, I think that news dropped just recently, right? Within the last half hour.
That guy. First was the DNF deal, now it's with the cautions coming out.
10 different organizations.
31 to go.
Eric Jones has finally made his pit stop. He was, I think, 21st or 2nd.
All right, this is where the race gets juicy here. Last 30 laps. Let's go. And then we'll take a couple hours off, and then I'll be back for Team USA versus Mexico at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So it'll give me a chance to do like laundry and dishes and Paisley, Walker for an hour, maybe go to the store, grab another, Gatorade or Snapple, and then we'll get ready for tonight. 30 laps to go, baby. Harvick, Larson, Bell, Byron, Reddick. Nice to see Reddick in the top 5. That'd be great for him, considering everything that's happened. I was just hoping for a top 10 for Reddick, but shit, if he can stay where he's at, he's in 5th now. Ross made his way up to 10th. Where's Kyle at? Yes, Kyle's in 12th. Come on, baby. 2 more spots. Come on, Kyle. 2 more. Joey's in 15th. He stayed. Kyle moved up. Damn, Stuart Haas Racing. 5 DNFs. That's not good.
Powerhouse team. And certainly Ryan Preece, the 10 car's been struggling all weekend long. They've got work to do still. Just because you got your best car at his best racetrack up front doesn't mean you have work to do, and I know they know that.
Yeah, it's, the crew chiefs make a really big difference in cup racing and stock car racing. It's, when a driver gets changed out, which has happened in the past, I've experienced it, the driver switches out and not the cars. Like, crew chief keeps all of the cars, and all you do
Jayhawks in the West.
Their seat out. So it just shows how much of a baby every little element of the car and everything that goes with that number does. So crew chiefs make a big deal. And
25 to go. What a clean race. Not a whole lot of wrecks, not a lot of cautions. That's kind of been the MO of the 2023 year. We haven't really got to see the big wrecks. I mean, unless you count the back end of Daytona, but other than that, everything has been pretty clean for the most part. Which I don't know. I guess sometimes you want to have a clean race, but other times you want some wrecks, some bumping. You want to be able to have a little action there. Obviously, we don't want the weather to become a factor, but we're going to get more races that will have more wrecks and more excitement. But very, very clean start to 2023. The first 4 races, unless we get some fucking crazy shit here in the last 24 laps, but I doubt it. Larson is going to be like, fuck, we lost right there when Harvick passed us. Could have had it. I mean, Hendrick is always racing strong, but
You see Harvick trying to pass Bubba right there. Bubba took that line away. These are things as a leader that make it very difficult to pass lap cars because they're racing you for their lives right now. They do not want to go a lap down.
No, and it's so close to the end. They think if a caution comes out, if you're Bubba right now and you lay back just a little bit or don't play it super tough and the caution comes out the next lap, you're kicking yourself.
Wallace's team had a bad stop in that last round, and he's been unable to move forward ever since.
22 to go. But the way that this race feels, if there's no caution, this one is over. Another second place finish for Larson, unless the caution comes out. And then if we can get a restart, then maybe Larson, Bell, Byron can move up a little bit. But if it stays green, this is over. Reddick in 5th. Good for him, man. Sometimes you just got to be able to talk that shit into existence. Nice job.
Yes, that's true. It is true. Tires sometimes have a little variance. But, as we've trended throughout the race, Hendrick was so strong, and Larson and William Byron were just, walking away with it. We were wondering if they were just going to stick up the show the entire day. But, now we've got Kevin Harvick in the lead. Christopher Bell's right up there. There's been some cars that have come into the mix. So has the track gone away from them, or have other cars just made better changes? We heard early on with both Kyle and William, they weren't really complaining about their car. They're just like, it's pretty good, the balance is there. It's just a matter of who is in the lead. So maybe they just didn't tweak on it enough.
Well, you said it. The track.
20 to go.
See shadows on those cars. The sun's starting to go down. Maybe it's changing some conditions out there. Plays in one car's hands other than the
Come on, Kyle.
That's a valid conversation there, but I mean, proof's in the pudding.
2 more spots to get a top 10 finish. Come on, man. 2 more spots. 19 to go.
Short run's fine. Car's fine for short runs.
There it is again.
They get a chance to work on it. All he needs is another green flag.
Yeah, that's the only way that you're going to be able to catch back up is if there ends up going caution and you can do a nice restart. But even if you do restart, it's still a chance that Harvick still restarts great and then he wins on top of that. But he's way too strong at this racetrack for his career to let this one slip through his fingers. Last year or two, not racing next year. No, nothing in there. 17 to go. And then hopefully we can get some people to come out later tonight and, we can hopefully get to getting back on track. Okay, no problem. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you, brother. You too, bro. I'll be back for Team USA and Mexico at 7 p.m. Pacific time if you get bored or have free time. 15 to go. Harvick, Larson, Bell, Byron, Tyler Reddick. Well, if we come back in November and Harvick wins this race, he'll probably win the other one. I mean, he's trying to go on his farewell tour. I mean, if he feels confident of winning anywhere, it's here in Phoenix. That could be 2 easy wins for him. And then, hopefully then at that point, he's probably shooting for 4 wins in the season. But if you get 2 in Phoenix, then you feel good. Then you just got to steal 1 somewhere else or 2. 13 to go. Nice. Richard Petty, Darrell Waltrip, David Pearson, Dale Earnhardt, 10 at Talladega, Jimmy 11 at Dover. That's impressive, man. Dude, did we be able to win that much? And Harvick has 9. Guess what? He's going to join this list. Wow. That's some names. 12 to go. 10 plus wins at 5 different tracks. What talk about domination, Richard Petty. Man. $11 to go. This race has gone relatively fast because we haven't had the cautions and the wrecks. Oh, caution is out. Oh, no. Not good for Harvick. Great for Larson, Bell, Byron, and Reddick, though. All right. So this will be the last one of the race to see what happens. Fuck. It's like, the guy that's in front, and you're like, yeah. But then it just seems like always, something happens. Someone in the field fucks up. Like at Harvick fans.
This comes down to this pit stop. I know it, honey. I know. I cannot believe it either. Watch this.
Fuck.
Burn up the top screen, spins.
Yeah.
It sideways all by himself.
Sometimes it's just that one random car. There he goes sideways. Fuck. That's tough for Harvick. But if you're a fan of one of the other drivers, if you're a fan of Larson, Bell, Byron, or Reddick, you're like, yeah, we actually have a shot. You still might not be able to get there, and Harvick will have to earn it. But I mean, this is why these little moments, instead of just having Harvick go and win the race, we need moments like drama like this to kind of keep us on the edge of our heels a little bit when the race has been, I don't want to say it's been boring, but it's just, it hasn't been a lot of excitement as far as like cautions and wrecks. It's been a clean race. Sometimes clean racing isn't boring racing, but this is exactly why you watch NASCAR for moments like this at the very end,
Those drivers are saying, free me up and pump them up.
No, they're saying, just give me a good pit stop. You heard Kyle wants no changes, told Cliff Daniels, no changes, happy with the car, the way his car takes off. You're Kevin Harvick, same way, just give me a good pit stop. Look at the cars in between them.
So last week on this final caution, Martin Truex, William Byron, everybody else got 2 tires. Of course, Vegas, very different racetrack from Phoenix. Would anybody dare take 2 tires at this point?
If they do, they would be fired in the morning. Well, not even close. I had to ask. There might be somebody, though. I wouldn't be so quick on it. I mean, maybe there is. Truex tried it last week, didn't work. My thing is that 5 car's quiet. There's a bunch of cars in between. It's going to be very difficult for him to get to the back bumper. That'll give Harvick the advantage coming onto pit road. That could take away the advantage of Kyle Larson having that number 1 stall. Watch this as they come onto pit road.
That's right, but because he cannot pull up to pit past those lapped cars. So
here they come.
Did a good job on that late. You can pull up.
Did a pretty good job.
8 to go.
Jamie.
I'm trying to decipher code words down here, Mike. Listening to the 24, they used this same code word a week ago at Vegas. I don't want to give it away, but this could be a 2-tire stop. You're going to watch and see if they call it.
All right, 2 or 4. 2 or 4. 2 or 4. 2 tires. 2 tires for Byron, 4 for Harvick.
He said short runs are great. This is exactly what they needed in a quick stop.
5 and 24 to the line, and Larson with 2 tires.
Larson 2, Byron 2, Blaney 2. And then Harvick went for the 4. Oh, that could be bad for. That's good for everyone else. Maybe you should have took 2 there at the end if you're Harvick. So now Kyle is back in position to win, and he's been on the cusp of winning. You know, second place. He's been right there. Maybe this is a Kyle Larson victory. Yeah, bad pit stop by Harvick at the very end. They knew mentally they needed to have that go green for them to win. And you can definitely see that 4 tires was probably not the right choice. You probably should have done 2. You know, even though it seems like it's only like 5 or 6 more seconds, but 5 or 6 more seconds for 2 more tires is a fucking eternity when people are going down the line, and then, you know, you have to see where everyone evens out. So that's tough.
For asthma, there's primatine mist. When symptoms strike, your airways narrow and there's less breathing room. Primatine mist is clinically shown to open airways quickly.
But at least we'll get this in, and then I'll be able to, you know, take care of some stuff around the house, go on a walk with Paisley, and then I'll start prepping, and then we'll be live around 7 p.m. Pacific time for Team USA in Mexico, which will be fun.
I need to try it first.
6 laps to go in Phoenix, and everything has changed. Larson Byron with 2 tires. Blaney Chastain, Busch.
Could be a 1-2 final.
Now watch Jeff Cordero, the front tire changer on William Byron here, as they get 2 tires, and they don't waste a millisecond getting Byron out of that pit, and Cordero's got to do a big jump there to get away.
Woo!
That's as quick as you
They practice that timing a lot, those guys.
Woo! Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I don't know if they've got someone in the car that's that quick to the trigger, so.
Hey,
good job.
There's 6 crew chiefs took 2 tires. It's getting fired after this race, man.
Nice job, Cordero.
You didn't say 2. You said stay out.
Jamie.
Well, just to update that, you know, everybody's watching the monitors. They've got the same monitors that we do, and they can see that the 24 was the first to take 2 tires. Well, Kevin Harvick, they called for 4, but they didn't have the time to call an audible if they wanted to. Harvick is pitting literally right in front of the 24, so they didn't have time to watch and see exactly what the 24 was going to do.
Well, they lost their opportunity to win this race, so maybe the Phoenix race later in November will be the one where Harvick wins. Larson, Byron, Larson. 5 to go.
What would you take, Clint? High or low?
You got to go where they don't. Give them an opportunity to get down, maybe even low. Go around that apron all the way around. Shoot through the middle. You know they're going to try to shoot across the track and use the outside. They're going to be on the bottom.
Yep.
His best chance, Harvick's, is if all these 2 tire guys pick the bottom, take the low route, and give him room up top. It is.
I'm going to call going low in 1 and 2. 4 tires way below the apron. I'm going to call those super low there.
He's going to the bottom. I think that, given what you have in front of you, that's your only choice.
Yep.
You got to try to roll around that bottom. Everybody else slides up on their 2 tires, opens the door for you.
Come on, baby.
And then you catch
4 to go.
Then you catch a caution, another caution, green light checkered, put this thing in overtime again. Now you might have an opportunity. Might create the caution, huh? See about that too. There'll be 3 laps.
Larson, Byron, baby. Blaney Chastain worked his way into the top 5. And look, it's Kyle Busch, 5th. He got all the way up there. See, that's just crazy. You never know. Like, not very good all day, you know, not even usually like 12th to 18th. And then all of a sudden you look up there and then there's Ross and Kurt. No, Ross and Kyle, baby. 4th and 5th. Nice. Nice job. Always finding a way to get up there. Yeah, Blaney in 3rd. Let's go, baby. 4 to go. Let's go. Five wide. Oh, he got blocked. 3 to go. Oh. Another caution. Oh, my God. Oh. Shit. Harvick's like, thank God. Not good for Larson and Byron. I mean, they're trying to pull away, and fuck, that's terrible. Oh, fuck. All 3 of them.
All hell is broken loose. I'm going to tell you it ain't the last one. Well, we're going overtime.
All right, overtime.
What was their heart rate? I think mine's there.
I mean, like I said, definitely a little bit of a clean race, you know, slow, nothing really super exciting. But towards the end, that's, you know, sometimes that's how it goes. Some are going to be lots of wrecks, you know, and you're going to have those memories with like Daytona. And then sometimes you're just going to have these clean races. But they still have some nice excitement at the very end. Well, we're going to get a winner. Well, he got bottled up here when he, you know, like he tried to go for the middle and then they blocked him. Byron was coming on that outside, and then obviously you saw Larson. He's, you know, it's jockeying for position. And then right there, Ross got right in front of Harvick and bottled him up. He said, nope, you ain't going. $47. Let's get to a hundo. 53 to go. And then once this ends, you know, I'll be back tonight in a few hours, and we'll be doing Team USA in Mexico at 7 p.m. Pacific time, baby.
2 weeks in a row. Saw it with Kyle Larson last week. Could not believe that caution came out. Did. So now Harvick is back to 7th. We'll have the 10th overtime finish in Phoenix. And not only is that win in jeopardy, but his top 10 streak is now in jeopardy.
Uh-oh.
Restarting back on the 4th row. I can tell you from the frustration right now, he can care less about that top 10 streak. He wants that win.
Yep. And if it didn't go with all these cautions, that last 20, it was a done deal.
Stage 1 went caution free. William Byron and Kyle Larson led all the laps.
Pit road mishaps. Bum, bum, bum. It's funny. the guy that fucks up the most in the race was the 7 people that came in here. Fucking Amarola. Fuck out of here. And then Harvick took the lead. I was like, oh no. And then all the bullshit started happening. He's like, fuck my life. Fuck my life. I'm so good here. And we've already seen how good Larson's been since Chase has been out. He's just been on the cusp of, getting dubs.
I called Tyler Reddick if it's late cautions, and he is the first one with 4 tires.
Larson, 2 poles, 1 top 5, 1 top 10. And this looks like another top 5 finish and maybe a win. You got to take advantage of Napa know-how. If you're out skiing, snowboarding, all that shit, okay? We miss you. We need you back, okay? But for the time being, you might be able to take advantage here. Larson, Byron, Blaney, Reddick, and Ross Chastain in your top 5. What will happen next? Let's go, baby. This is going to be good overtime. Larson, Byron, Blaney, Reddick, Ross. Reddick in 4th. Amazing for being so far back in the points. Good for him. Ross always finding his way in the top 5. It's like that pesky flea. And then Kyle Busch got to 10th. Nice. It's been a rough day for him. He hasn't really had a chance to get up there, but a top 10 finish, you'll take those. Top 5s and top 10s add up. That's points, baby. All right, here we go, baby. I'm interested to see what the line is going to be, the faster line, if it's going to be the high side or the low end. And then people are going to go crazy. We'll get 3, 4, 5 wide. And, yeah, love me some Ross. Let's go. Ross in 5th. Reddick in 4th. Blaney in 3rd. Byron in 2nd. Kyle Larson in 1st. Let's go. 5 wide. Come on, baby. Are we going to get 1-2 Hendrick? Look at William. Byron's like, I won last week and I'm trying to win again. And Kyle's like, fuck you, bro. I need to win. Oh, he's coming. Oh, Blaney, go. Oh, shit. Oh, William. He's taking advantage. William Byron. Oh, William. This is big. Oh, William. You already won last week. He's like, hey, everyone wants to talk about Kyle Larson. Talk about me, William fucking Byron. Oh, my. Big run for Blaney, too. That fucked over Kyle Larson with the run with Blaney. Final lap, nowhere to go. I think we're going to get a William Byron win. Back-to-back weeks. He better not do it like he did last year. Wow, big. And, Larson ended up finishing 4th. That's tough. Reddick 3rd, Blaney 2nd, but William Byron back-to-back weeks. But remember, he had wins early last year and then didn't have top 5, top 10 finishes pretty much for almost the rest of the season. But now you're repeating what you did last year, but it looks like this is a stronger team. And also with Chase out, Napa know-how, right? You got to be able to make room, right, for some of the others. Nice job, dude. Everyone will talk about the others. Chase, Larson. Hey, maybe we need to talk about that 24, that William Byron a little more. Nice job. Unbelievable. Woo! Woo! I mean, right now, yes, you did. Like I said, if you're a Blaney fan, Reddick fan, you're like, oh my God, I didn't think this was going to happen. But if you're Larson or Harvick sitting in 4th and 5th, you feel like hell. You're like, no, that was our race. But that's racing for you. It got exciting there at the end. Wow. Back to back. The guy that has The most wins in NASCAR up into week 4. 2 wins within the first 4 weeks. William fucking Byron. Nice job. Wow, that got really fun there at the end. He did get lucky with the late caution. I mean, if we didn't have a caution at all, it's Harvick. And then if you would have had better positioning, Larson. But then you saw Blaney made the run and blocked Larson out. So you knew he was already going to fall back a couple spots. Harvick was too far behind. Reddick moved up to 3rd, so that's great for his team. Top 3 finish after having a horrible first 3 races. But there's only one at the very, very end. All the smoke show. That was fun, man.
That caution that came out cost him dearly. Unfortunate. Kevin Harvick finishes 5th and extends his
Byron, Blaney, Reddick, Larson, Harvick. But again, if you're Larson or Harvick, you feel like horrible. Like the pit in your stomach, that feeling, and maybe more for Harvick because, when you were winning at that point. But with like Larson, you've already been kind of second place in many races up to this point already, but just to be able to get over the hump, like he's getting closer, top 2, top 4 finish. So we know Larson's going to win, you would think, before Chase comes back, but big win. And that's why NASCAR is so great. You never know what's going to happen. Nice job, William.
Thanks everybody back in Hendrick Motorsports. Putting together great cars and just
Hendrick is so deep, it's just ridiculous.
Big credit to them, engine shop, Mr. Hendrick, everybody. So cool to have Valvoline back on the car. Really historic looking paint scheme. So
Yep.
nice to get it in victory lane.
Valvoline, baby.
For William Byron.
And what a show, Kevin
Harvick is like, fuck this.
All the way to the front, led a lot of laps there.
He's like, fuck my life. He said, why?
Did you think that was the right call at the time when you realized the others around you took 2?
It's what I would have done. I'd always rather be on offense, and I just didn't. I didn't get a couple cars when that first caution came out, and kind of lost our chance, and still thought I had a chance there at the end. I mean, those cars were quite a bit slower.
Breaking news: William Byron is good.
That's the way it goes. I mean, just smoked them up until the caution. They did a great job with our Hunt Brothers Pizza Ford Mustang, and just didn't need that caution at the end.
10 straight beers. This man.
Yeah, seriously.
Right here at Phoenix.
5th place today. 2007 was
And they also have Alex Bowman on the team too, correct? So we already know Bowman isn't going to be like, he's not going to necessarily be a top guy, but I think he's underrated. You know what I'm saying? He had 1 pole this year, 2 top 5 finishes, 3 top 10s. Alex Bowman had the most with Daniel Suarez. So for another guy, that doesn't get talked about, kind of a lower name guy. I mean, their team is so strong. Like you're like, yeah, William Byron and Bowman aren't that good. And then you start looking at the top 5s and the top 10s and just seeing them share information with Hendrick. And of course, it's never going to be as popular as Chase or Kyle, but that team is very strong. And even if you want to say Bowman is the worst out of the 4, still pretty good, has the ability to win a race, at the end of the year. So, wow, fun race. All right, well, I gotta be able to, do a lot of chores and shit around the house. It's 4:00, 3:54. I'll be back in 3 hours at 7 p.m. to do the Team USA, Team Mexico matchup for the World Baseball Classic. So now I got to go to the store, take her on a walk, get all this other shit done, and I'll be back here in a couple hours. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Let's get the proper photo up. We'll take that down, and then we'll go here.
Motorcycle insurance. My lips are burning.
All right. Oh, I appreciate you guys very, very much. Thank you to everyone that supported, shared it on Twitter, commented, donated, and hung out with me today. I really enjoyed myself. What a fucking win for William Byron. And we'll be back here in just a couple hours. Breaking news, William Byron's kind of fucking good. Nice job. And again, we'll be back here in a couple hours for Team USA and Mexico for the WBC World Baseball Classic. And I got one question for you. Who talks sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.